When you want to be the best, you can't settle for the rest. For anything on iRacing, there's just one name you need, Maconi.
With the launch of Maconi Entertainment and Maconi Competizone alongside Maconi Setup Shop, we now provide the best of the best in setups, paint schemes, coaching, broadcasting, and event organization.
With cars across all 4 license classes, we have what you need to hit the track with confidence. Grab a subscription and save money while going fast at MaconiSetupShop.com/subscriptions.
And remember, at Maconi Setup Shop, there are setups, but your victories.
Welcome back to the Door to Door Racing League. Here tonight, we're back in our playoffs, and we're at the Charlotte Roval for 71 laps of action, and we'll have it all for you right here on Maconi Entertainment. I'm Sky Shrek. I'm joined up in the booth tonight by Mike Wambold and Christian Hill, our producer, and we're getting ready to go here for a great night of action with the always entertaining Door to Door Racing League. Mike, we're racing at the Roval tonight. It's a bit of a unique track on the NASCAR schedule. Tell us about it.
Well, you know, the Charlotte Oval turned to the Roval. It's a 2025 Roval. They added a new turn or two here, a hairpin, Calamity Corner. It's going to be crazy. Might see a lot of accidents and incidents there. We're going to see what happens, but with a brand new layout, I hope the guys have been practicing, and we should have a good race here.
Yeah, you can see it right there, 2.32 miles in length with this new layout here at the Charlotte Roval. Different compared to what the track was over the last few years. And I know when I personally got into a race here, I was stunned because I had completely forgotten that they reconfigured the entire second part of this track. 17 turns, opened in 1960, the oval. The Roval first began being run about, I'd say, 5 to 10 years ago now. 5 to 24 degrees of banking here across this racetrack with a couple of flatter corners towards the infield section as we get ready to go tonight at the Roval. Looking at your schedule, New Hampshire and Kansas were the last 2 weeks. Trevor Baxter picked up the win in the first race of the round of 12, and that has gotten him through into the final round. So even though he'll miss tonight, he is into that round of 8. Colt Huff took the win last week at Kansas for his first win of the season. And coming up to the Roval tonight, we'll see if any of those playoff drivers are able to find their way into victory lane. We mirror the NASCAR Cup Series schedule here, so the last 4 weeks of the season will be Las Vegas, Talladega, Martinsville, and Phoenix. And those races will decide a champion. The field's a little wide open here tonight with Trevor Baxter, who's won 14 of our races this season, missing out tonight. And that could be a chance for a driver like Alan Duggar to jump up and try to steal a victory away here. Hugh Brown, Danny Carpenter, William Lark, Daniel Best, all very much on the good side of this cut line, but it's a lot tighter further back. Stephen Bird is only 8 points up. Michael Reeves is that cut line. And then Joshua Switzer is 4 points back, looking to move his way up into the next round of the playoffs, along with Roland Collette, Nathaniel Pollard, and James Nesta here tonight. And just taking a quick look through the field, all of those drivers, with looks like the exception of Roland Collette, are in the field tonight. So it's going to be some drama for that final point spot between Reeves and Switzer. We're going to have to keep an eye on those two as they race for that final spot. About 5 minutes left in quali here right now. A little bit of an extended qualifying session as it is a road course here at the Roval. Laps are a little bit longer in comparison to if we were running the Charlotte Roval, or the Charlotte Oval, excuse me. Mike, is there any one spot on this track that you think these drivers need to watch out for tonight because it could catch them out?
So a big thing we've been having on these road courses here, I've been noticing, is like the S's at the Glen and whatnot. Someone would get turned sideways, and then the whole track would get clogged up, and then it'd be big incidents there. So I'm looking for turn 1, turn 2, where it goes in the real tight spot there, after right around where the pit lane exits there. And gonna see there because it's real close quarters there. We might have to throw an unscheduled caution there because if the track gets clogged and there's nowhere for anyone to go, might have to throw a yellow there. So we'll see what happens. But I'm actually in a little disagreement there. I think this is only, iRacing says it's only 12 turns. I went and counted it. I'm at 12 turns. So 17 turns, 12 turns. I'm not sure what it is, but we'll see what happens. But Trevor Baxter not making last week's race or this week's race. He had a dominant season, and he got by pretty far in the round of 12, going to the round of 8. He's locked in already, and this is the cutoff race here. So good thing he was so dominant all season, had so many stage points, and he still is a dominant lead here. But as you can see in this qualifying run here, the new turns here, I'm still not used to it myself, but I tried running some practice laps, and I am just not used to it. I'm so used to the old layout of the Roval. So it's definitely interesting, something that I hope these drivers did a lot of practice on, and can't wait to see how the race goes as we're rounding off with 3 minutes left of qualifying.
Yeah, turn 1 and 2 are always going to be difficult here at the Roval. Looking at the qualifying section, I've seen a lot of cars have some problems in that final chicane. That's really caught quite a few drivers out tonight. And I think it will catch quite a few drivers out during the race, as it does in the NASCAR Cup Series as well. That final chicane is always a bit of a headache. A couple drivers still making qualifying times. This is last week's winner, Colt Huff in the 08, trying to get himself up the field here. See if he'll improve it all as he crosses the line. And it does not look like he will. Colt Huff, 8 of the 9 cars who have set a lap so far, as he looks to try and back up last week's victory here in the Door Racing League. A couple of the drivers making some times at the moment as we see these drivers race around. Brian Burchett, who I think might be a contender to win tonight, also out on the track in that 3 car. He was running really good in practice, had the second fastest time, only behind multi-time winner this season, Alan Duggar. We've seen Burchett really come up huge on these road courses. It's going to be his first lap. We'll see where he slots in. And immediately jumps to P2 on the qualifying board right now, right in between Alan Duggar, who was fastest in practice and who has 3 wins this season and who really we expect to be a big threat on these road courses, and Daniel Best, who currently sits with the 3rd fastest time out here so far this season. Alan Duggar was your winner at the Chicago Street Course, so he's got the road course experience here in the Door Racing League. He knows how to get it done here. We will see if he can back that up tonight.
For sure. Brian here coming to round off the end of his qualifying lap. Let's see what this is Colt, my apologies. Yep, sorry. Let's see. Brian's still in P2, 3/10 off the leader. But it's a real tight battle there between 1 and 2 on time wise. Then we got a little gap for Daniel Best in 3rd, Ryan Steinhoff in 4th, and Michael K in 5th. But real close times all throughout, and it's going to be a great race. I've been watching some of these laps here, and a lot of accidents and mistakes being made. People are braking too hard, locking up the tires, hitting the turtles a little too hard, spinning out. That's why I think we haven't seen everyone qualify. As you can see here, William Lark getting sideways, locking it up, he just binned his lap. That's over there. His lap, he was on a heater, it's gone. So there's just a lot of mistakes here. Not enough practice from some of these drivers, or maybe them just pushing it too hard, trying to get everything they can out of the car, because track position usually tends to be key here in these races. So not really sure what it was here, but hopefully they just pushed in the car a little too hard there with the qualifying setup, and hopefully they can clean it up for the actual race.
Yeah, I've seen 4 drivers here who have incident points and have not managed to put down a lap. William Lark, with those incident points, I mean, we saw him go flying through the grass right there. Danny Carpenter also was not able to get a lap down, along with the 00 of Michael Reeves. Hugh Brown did have 1 lap negated, but he was able to get 1 of his laps scored, so he currently sits 8th of the 10 cars in the field who have taken a qualifying time, as William Lark is just doing a little bit of extra racing here just for some practice, similar to how Colt Huff was that last time around. Qualifying is over here at the Roval, and in just a second we'll have that starting lineup up for you tonight. 71 laps at Charlotte for your drivers in the Door Racing League, and on pole it's going to be Alan Duggar in the 15. The 3-time winner is going to look to find another tonight. Brian Burchett will go from his outside in P2. Daniel Best goes from third tonight in the 5 car. Ryan Steinhoff on his outside in the 74. Michael Kurgelak starts 5th tonight in the 41. Thomas Freeman 6th in the 17. Nate Pollard, one of those drivers on the cut line here in the playoffs, goes from 7th. Hugh Brown in the 35 starts 8th. And the last 2 cars in your top 10 will be Colt Huff in the 08, last week's winner, next to James Nesta in the 29. P11 tonight will be our race control, so he will not take the start. P12 will be Chris Chavez Essery in the 4. Stephen Bird rolls off 13th in the 14 with William Lark next to him in the 10. All Birds there in row 7. Thomas Hegland goes from 15th in the 99. Joshua Switzer 16th in the 6. And the last 2 cars on your field, another couple drivers in that playoff bubble. Michael Reeves in the 00 and Danny Carpenter in the 28 here tonight. With just 40 seconds left to go here in qualifying. Mike, Alan Duggar was the fastest car in both practice and qualifying. Do you think he might have what it takes to steal a win here?
It's a road course. Anything can happen. And most of these races, you're racing yourself. You just gotta push it. You can't go over the limit. Push what you're comfortable with. And if someone behind you, a little bit faster, maybe let them go. See where you can, make up time. We have 2 scheduled cautions here, and if you got a fast car, feel it out. Don't overextend yourself. Don't overdo it, and it'll come to you if you got the car to beat.
We do have those 2 stage yellows planned for lap 17 and lap 35, and stage points will be awarded. So if you're one of those drivers on the playoff cut line, those are going to be really important for you, and you're going to have to make sure you're up there when those stages end. Race length 71 laps, 75% fuel load tonight. 4 tire sets available, 1 on the car, 3 back in the pits for these drivers, and 1 green-white checkered available if we need it. No fast repairs here tonight in the Door Racing League, so if you smack a wall here and destroy your car early, you could be done for the night. It's always treacherous around here. Track temperature 83 degrees, and as we get later into the afternoon, that's only going to cool down here. So with the clouds out in the sky, you're going to see a little bit of a cooler racetrack that might make for more chaos on the restarts, but it'll be better for these drivers in the long run because it's going to keep these tires cooler and it's going to keep them fresher for longer.
Right here, you can see them going in the new corner here. This is the corner I'm so unused to, and where we've been seeing a lot of mistakes, drivers overshooting it. Not like the speeds haven't been up to what you would expect going through here, and coming right here into the sharp hairpin, a lot of action can be had here. Such a tight corner here. Look at them, almost beating and banging here, literally under pacing, and we're not even close to race speed. So I expect to see a lot of lock up there, a lot of beating and banging, and hopefully we don't get any track blocks there, and we can keep it green.
Yeah, that's going to be an interesting set of quarters because you see it sometimes in the Cup races. It is very easy to punt someone down there with that really tight braking zone into that really sharp hairpin. It always catches out a few drivers, and it always creates a little bit of chaos here in these next-gen cars. Seeing Ryan Steinhoff right now, driver of the number 74 car, as he rolls off in P4 tonight. Hasn't made too many appearances this season, 8 starts so far. Has racked up 3 top 5s and 5 top 10s here in the Door Racing League, so he's not a slouch in the series. He knows how to get good finishes, and he was 3rd at Watkins Glen, 3rd at Sonoma, and 2nd at the Chicago Street Circuit. So he is absolutely one of those road course ringers who you could see try to steal a win away here tonight. As we get ready to roll with the Door Racing League, the pace car will pull off at a 4, and we'll get rolling as these drivers make their way through that treacherous front stretch hairpin that I think we'll see quite a few mistakes in over the course of the race. Pace car comes down on the front row. It's Alan Duggar and it's Brian Burchett. As they snake their way through the chicane, we're green from the Roval.
Okay, single file in the back of the field, we're going 2x2 in the first corner there. All clean from what I can see so far. They're singling it out here, going through the first few corners where I'm a little worried about. We have one in the wall in the back there. Oh, he got it out. It's all good. It's all clean. It's all green.
Right now up front, Alan Duggar has that lead. Brian Birch is trying to chase him down. We're going to go side by side for P3 here. You've got Ryan Steinhoff looking up the inside of Best. Has to back out, but Best overshoots that corner a little bit, and it allows Steinhoff to get right back to his inside. Nearly contact here between the two cars. They're door to door off the corner. Best is going to have the inside into the hairpin, and the 74 can't get the switchback going. Contact between these two cars. Kerjelak, Nate Pollard, side by side as well behind him, and I think we've got a little bit of wrecking further back. Cole Huff has some problems. William Lark as well going around in the background as we keep racing up front. Best has third, Steinhoff is fourth. Best locks up into the corner. He's around through the chicane, and that is going to let all of these drivers through. Daniel Best from P3 all the way back to P7, and he'll have to recover quick or else he might get caught by James Nesta.
We see an early mistake there. We see one going around here. James Nesta somehow saving it. Still getting pushed by the 08 here. Big issues early on for drivers. This is lap one. We have such a long race going here, and we see some beating and banging, spinning out, so many mistakes early on. And we see one getting loose in the back there, smoking the tires. Wasn't sure who that was there.
Thomas Hagelin.
Thomas Hagelin right there, but so many mistakes early. Drivers, it's a playoff. It's what the playoffs are doing here. And Thomas Hagelin still slow on the front stretch there. But the playoffs just bring so much anxiety, there's so much joy in this. Like, you're on the edge of your seat the entire time. This is what the playoffs are about right here.
Still up front, Duggar has done a good job of holding that lead over Brian Burchett, who is still sitting in P2. As Nesta tries to reel in Chavez Essery. Might have a chance back here for P8. Was a little quicker through that corner. Chavez Essery got through after Nesta's big loose moment. Trying to get there up the inside, can't quite do it. Daniel Best having a problem here. He's slowed down on the apron after getting way loose trying to exit that corner. So now Chavez Essery and Nesta are going to catch up to that 5 car here for P7 as we head down towards the chicane. Tight racing all around here. Daniel Best could really use a good day behind the wheel of that 5 car. Chavez Essery continues to work his way further up the field. Started out back in 12th as that car rolling in 8th at the moment. Your biggest mover is there's a little more contact between Colt Huff and James Nesta as we work our way through the oval.
James Nesta's doing a real deep send there, got a little loose. Oh, he locks it up. And I'm not sure if there's been some previous history with James Nesta and Colt Huff there, but they seem to be beating and banging quite a lot, pretty heavy early on here. As you see them door slamming here, man, oh, Colt Huff getting real loose there, kept it straight. Oh man, so early on, but I'm not sure if there's any previous history with Nesta and Huff there, but yeah, I'm interested to I'm interested, and I want to keep an eye on this for the rest of the race.
Colt Huff, last week's winner, trying to find a way back to victory lane, but so far does not look like the best out here at the Roval. Struggling today as he tries to defend that crown. A little further back, Hugh Brown in the 35 is slipping back through the field. Started in 8th as that car driving in 12th right now. He's right behind this battle of Colt Huff and James Nesta. Huff closes right back in. He's doing a good job in those lower speed corners to really catch Nesta, but he hasn't seemed capable of reeling him in yet. He'll have a chance up the inside into the chicane, and that is a huge send from Huff. 2 cars in 1, and it's not going to work because he's around in the chicane. Essery messed it up too, so that's James Nesta who's actually going to get the 2 for 1 there in the 29, getting around Chavez Essery in the process. Colt Huff is going to go all the way back through the field after spinning it through the chicane. He sits 15th now.
Lucky for him, there's 2 more stages to go, and he can have. Oh, we have one spinning in the number. Is that the number 4 here on the front stretch? He overcooked it coming out of the corner there, as he's nosed into the wall, trying to get it turned around. But back to everything that's been going on, all these mistakes. Luckily, we have 2 more stages here, but people pushing it maybe way too hard here early on. They don't really have a grip on their car, or just making simple mistakes, or just dumb instances happening here. But a lot going on, a lot of mistakes early on, but we got 2 stages they got 2 stages to reset. As you can see, Colt Huff here. Let's see, going around. seconds before the incident happens. Oh, and he just gets loose there. Oh, heavy damage there. He tailed that in the wall pretty hard there. He might be able to continue on.
See what happened to Daniel Best here in the 5 as he makes his way down into the chicane. Yeah, this is where he just completely locked it up when skipping over the turtles and had that car all the way sideways. That's what sent him back to P7 and caused him to lose 4 spots. This is Thomas Hageland ripping it through the grass down here into the chicane. That's going to catch a couple of cars out tonight. Thomas Hageland, not the best road racer in this series. He's struggled whenever this series has made it onto road courses. That's another one for him. And Colt Huff, this was yet another moment. It looked like he might have had the 2-for-1 there until he just completely lost it, went too deep in, sent that car around, and lost all of his positions. This is Chris Chavez Essery right now as well. He's towards the back of the field after another moment behind the wheel of this Ford car. There he goes. Doesn't hit anything, but locks it up pretty good as he spins out through there. Now he hits something.
Sorry about that. Did you see the rotors on Huff's car? He was sent it in there so deep they were glowing bright red. No wonder it didn't stick. He gave them rotors everything they had and then some. His pads and rotors and tires are probably all overheated. He dove it in there so hard, he not only passed one, he passed the second one and just sent it in there way too hard. Here we have Danny Carpenter hot on the trail of Josh Switzer here. Takes it wide, slowly catching him. And as you can see, it's pretty single file out here, but we still have a lot of battles here throughout the field. Just like I said, the road courses, you're pretty much racing yourself. Can't make mistakes, got to capitalize on other people's mistakes.
Yeah, closest battle on the track right now is for P7 as Daniel Best has closed it up to Thomas Freeman. Excuse me, it's for P6 here. Daniel Best running in P7 at the moment. And that 5 car works his way down into turn 1, trying to find his way around that 17, trying to recover after that early accident. Best was 0.8 of a second faster last time around. He only sits about 0.3 behind Freeman right now, although not a great turn 3 for him there. That'll lose him quite a bit of time that he'll have to make back up. Freeman now getting away down this little short chute into turn 6.
Daniel Best hot on his trail here, going through the new set of corners here. I haven't really seen a lot of, we've seen that one mistake from, I forget who it was, but we've seen one mistake here. Not a lot of calamity like I thought it would be. People keeping it pretty clean, they're giving each other room, and new set of corners there, and people, it seems like got it pretty dialed in here. Daniel Best going down the back stretch here, what would be the exit of turn 2 in the Charlotte Oval, down to the hard braking corner. I personally always have issues here. I always lock up my tires, can never make it, or I'm nailing the turtles. Always have issues here, but it looks like they get through clean as Daniel Best is chasing Thomas Freeman.
These 2 cars continue to do battle here. Best is really trying to make that move work, but right now just doesn't seem to have it in him. Brian Burchett is closing up on Alan Duggar right now for the lead of this race. That 3 car was 0.3 faster that last time around, has got that gap down under half a second here. Burchett really trying to make something happen behind the wheel with a 3. Does not have a win yet this season, but we know he's good at the road courses. This would be a great chance for him to grab that victory and find his way into victory lane here in the Door-to-Door Racing League. He's got 7 top 5s, 9 top 10s. Just hasn't been able to find his way to the front.
Brian definitely has been closing in on Duggar here, and I'm not sure if he's just biding his time, taking it easy, seeing how much his car has to begin with, or, you know, if maybe Alan is backing up his pace, saying, oh, maybe I don't need to go as fast here. But we're not sure if the tires are starting to wear, people are pushing their cars harder and harder, or what necessarily is happening. But who knows, maybe during this first stage, if people's cars are a little off or they push their tires a little hard, they can make a few changes and adjustments and get back out there for the second stage.
Ooh, a little loose there, fishtailing it into the wall for the 3 of Brian Burchett. And he lost a lot of time that last lap as this gap is back up to about a second now. He might need that stage break here for him to really close back in. That stage break coming on lap 17 out of 71 here tonight. These drivers will get that chance to pit, catch back up to these cars in front of them, try and make something happen with the new strategy on the second run. as James Nesta is close to Hugh Brown right now. This is the battle for P8 on the racetrack. That 29 car has that gap under half a second. Passing's been a little difficult here tonight at the Roval, but Nesta is going to look to get this move done. Started in 10th, running in 9th. As Hugh Brown has kind of driven his way back up through the field after a bit of a rough start. See if Nesta can close back in here or if Hugh Brown is just going to get away. Nesta was a little faster last time around, but this time Hugh Brown is putting on the...
Okay, James is still closing in here on Hugh. A little bit of space in between them, but in the top 10. As here we can see Danny Carpenter still hot on Switzer's trail. Colt Huff actually rebounding a little bit from his early accidents, but Danny Carpenter is still chasing down Josh Switzer here. As we're going back into the heavy braking zone on the backstretch here, hopefully no one locks up the brakes. I know they're pushing for everything, maybe seeing what their car has early on to make them adjustments later on here. But here we go, no mistakes here. Oh, look how close Carpenter gets to Switzer there. Switzer has a little bit better drive off, but they're going to be close here going into the final corners here. Let's see the space Carpenter and Switzer have here. Maybe Carpenter will give him the bumper. Carpenter seems to brake really early there. It's weird, he sends it in real deep on the backstretch there, but brakes early here. And he's unable to close. Actually loses a little bit of time there coming to the start-finish line. The last set of corners is not his specialty. But here we go in the first corners. This is a close battle to watch here. As we're nearing the end of the stage, about a little bit over halfway through it, and Alan Duggar's still our leader, pulling away a little bit from Brian Bruchet.
That he is there as that battle continues to run up in front of the field with Alan Duggar, Brian Burchett, Danny Carpenter now right behind Joshua Switzer here. This is for P11. As these cars try to race their way around the racetrack. See if Carpenter can get his way down here through this set of corners. No, not quite. He'll back out.
Danny Carpenter still hot on his tail here. He seemed to gain a lot of time here in the backstretch chicane. And I'm not sure. He's definitely not going to give the bumper to him this early on. It's only lap 10 of 71. He's biding his time. And just seeing where he can get, where he can finish here. Maybe if he's lucky, have some people up front make some mistakes. Maybe he could get some stage points here. Not sure how he's doing in the point standing. I don't have that pulled up here this second. But maybe he could pull off the top 10 and get stage points if they're still necessary to him.
We'll see if Carpenter can get his way back up into that stage point position here, as he is still working on that 6 of Joshua Switzer, trying to get something going. Oh, not quite there. But look again back here in turn 3. Peak to the inside for Danny Carpenter, but he is not close enough at the moment. Has to dip back out. He will continue his pursuit as we head on to the back straightaway now. Danny Carpenter, one of those drivers who's in a decent position here in regards to points, but bad stage point performances could really shake him and could really put a wrench into things if he's not careful. So he needs to get back at it in that 28 car and move his way up through the field, if not now, in the second stage for sure, or else he could be in trouble as we head later into this race.
Now, as the stage is starting to wind to an end here, pit road closes with two laps prior to the stage end. I'm not sure if there's going to be any, pit strategy or whatnot coming into this. I know they don't have full fuel tanks. It could be a 2 or 4 tire stop here early on, trying to split the stage. Do you have any idea on how the pit strategy works? If we'll see any here, or what are your thoughts?
I think if we get through the first 2 stages clean, or we'll get through the first 2 stages without any pit stops, the third stage we're likely to see 1 green flag stop in the middle of it, as I think these drivers will need fuel at some point in that stage. But with only 17 laps in stage 1 and 18 in stage 2, these drivers have enough gas to get through this whole stage without any issues.
That's good to hear. So no real strategy here in the first 2 stages. And the final one, it's going to be interesting to see if people pit earlier than others, if the fresher tires will help, or I know if they're filling up their fuel their fuel tanks a little bit, how sometimes it affects the weight and how the car shifts, and just it's going to be interesting to see here as we're going through. But on the front, as you can see in the scoring, Alan Duggar running quicker laps than Brian Boucher, extending that lead out a little bit.
And Steinhoff's
we have one hard in the wall. Sorry about that.
No, go ahead.
Who was it? It was the number 99, I believe. Hegland. He's out. He towed. He hit the wall hard.
Yeah, this is in the back straightaway. This is in the back chicane, excuse me here. Hegland has now DNF'd and left the race. You'll see this here as he works his way through the 1 and 2 of the oval. He'll head down into the chicane here. And what happened to Thomas Hegland? That is, yeah, not ideal. He's going to go straight into that wall, puts it right in the fence, and tows back. His day is over behind the wheel of that 99 car.
That looks the way, so similar to what happened to me, getting in there a little too hot and just having the tires lock up and go around on you. What an unfortunate ending to his race. That damage didn't look catastrophic, but he might have just been so fed up from that silly mistake there, and he might have just thrown in the towel. Number 10, William Lark, also in the pits there. Not sure if something happened to him or not, but yeah, that's an unfortunate ending to Thomas Hegland's day there. Hopefully he didn't leave the race. And
Chavez Esri just wrecked as well. Chavez Esri is also just wrecked and towed back to the pits. He might be done as well in the 4 car.
Oh geez,
going through turn 1 here. Yeah, it was going through turn 1. Chavez Esri just completely missed his braking zone and slid it all the way through this corner and into the fence. You'll see it here. There he goes. And that 4 car is likely done for the night, or at least going multiple laps down here for the night as he is in the pits. William Lark also in the pits, although he just came down of his own volition. I wonder if he had something go wrong. Not that I can see, so maybe just a technical issue there for William Lark. He is also in the pits in that 10 car, so we've got a couple cars either out of the race or going laps down here, and it's only stage 1.
This is a big part of what I was saying earlier about running your own race. You're racing yourself. Let the others make the mistakes. If you have the car to beat, you'll be there at the end. Just a lot of mistakes early on from a lot of different drivers here. Colt Huff early on, he seemed to be keeping it pretty clean, but right there, back-to-back, 3 drivers, I believe, making mistakes here at the end of stage 1. Unfortunate. Hopefully they can get back out on the track. I know Hegland is out. Maybe William Lark. I see he's in the pits. Chris nailed that wall in turn 1 there. That's a bad spot to be parked there, especially on restarts. That's a track blocker right there, and that's what I was a little worried about there. But luckily he was able to tow, and that damage didn't look like it was race ending, but definitely could slow him down. And the 41 locks it up here in the final corner there. Oh, geez. What happened there? Did he just overcook it there? I caught the end of that.
Problems there for Michael Kurchalak. We'll see a replay on that here in just a second. Is that 41 car a major issue there, running in 4th, and now he's going to slide way back about 5 seconds behind Ryan Steinhoff for that position. You'll see the replay here as he's trying to pursue that 71 car and getting a little closer. Let's see. Oh, just slips and slides there and saves it. Doesn't go into the wall, but that is going to cost him about 5 seconds worth of time that he'll only get up at the stage break.
It looked there to me like he just started braking right as the track started shifting there, and his rear tires maybe a wheel hop there, and it just sent the rear end real squirrely. But good on him for locking it down, not letting it snowball into a bigger mistake, and he was able to save it. And he knows the stage break is coming here soon, and he's going to be able to have another shot here once we re-rack him and let him go for stage 2.
Time is running out here in stage 1. We're on lap 15 out of 71 as Alan Duggar has just crossed the start-finish line here. And we are going to be only about 3 laps away from ending this stage. Race control has closed the pit road entrances here on lap 15. As these cars continue to lap around at Charlotte, we'll see what happens as we head down to the stage. Positions are all but secured here for the top 10. It looks like Alan Duggar should win the stage, followed by Brian Burchett, Ryan Steinhoff, Michael Kurchalak, Nate Pollard, Daniel Best, Hugh Brown, Thomas Freeman, Stephen Bird, and James Nesta in that final stage point position there in P10.
Alan Duggar out front here, still running solid laps. A few tenths, almost a second quicker than second place. I'm not sure if Brian, just oh, we see a 0 overcooked the exit of the corner there. Maybe hit the turtle a little too hard, but he kept it out of the wall, so everything's good there on his end. Almost got into the leader, Alan Duggar here, but Alan extending his lead over Brian Burchett. Sorry about that. And he's just running almost second a lap quicker times than him. But I'm not sure if maybe Brian is saving his stuff a little bit or pushed it too hard, or if Alan is giving them all the beans. But we'll see when it comes to stage 2 here. See what happens as we rack them and stack them, and we got 4 fresh Goodyear tires.
Yeah, I think we're going to see some changes in position here, especially for these cars who had issues and kind of dropped back through the field, like James Nesta, where they really struggled in this first run after starting a little bit further up. Same with guys like Colt Huff. They'll have an opportunity in the second stage to try to chase their way back up through the field. Colt Huff is going to get lapped here by the 15 car of Alan Duggar. He will join Michael Reeves as cars who have been lapped on the racetrack. And William Lark just fenced himself, but he's 4 laps down, so that's not really going to play a factor here in the conclusion of stage 1. As it looks like Alan Duggar is only going to have a little bit more to go here, and he will claim a victory by 3 seconds over Brian Burchett.
We still got another lap around here. It's the completion of lap 17. The competition caution is thrown. We're on lap 16 here, so still got a little bit to go, but as long as no mistakes are made, everything should be fine. He's extending his lead a little bit. Let's see what lap times kind of run here. They're running about the same lap times there. Brian Burchett actually running a quicker lap there. I'm not sure if Duggar stepped it down or Brian's picking it up a little bit, but that's interesting here, and I think it's gonna tighten up the racing and make it exciting for these first 2 here. As we have, I'm still a little confused on what happened to William there. I know he pounded the wall back there, you said, but I'm not sure if he pit. I saw him pit there earlier. I'm not sure. He's already 3 laps down, but I'm just wondering what pit there or something happened. I'm not sure. Maybe we'll be able to figure that out.
It didn't look like anything happened. He just had a little bit of a slow lap and then pulled it down into the pits. My thought is, might have just had like a technical issue there on that 10 car, and that was the reason why he had to come into the pits and get something fixed. He spent about 3 or 4 laps in there, so ultimately, whatever the result is, it's going to be, or whatever the reasoning is, it's going to be a bad result for William Lark in that 10 car. Really couldn't find anything that would have caused him to come in here, as Alan Duggar is going to make his way through the final set of corners, and he is going to get a dominating win in stage 1 here tonight in the Door Racing League. It'll be a little while before the caution. We'll call it once the top 10 come across the line. 10th, over a minute back of Alan Duggar, who dominates stage 1 here in the Door Racing League.
The yellow flag actually on the road courses comes out a little early here. That way the whole field can catch up and we can get the wave rounds and lucky dogs, and that way there's just no big issue and we don't got to go around and pass the pace car, and that way we can just sit here and catch the pace car and everyone can get caught up and things just go a lot smoother, and it's better for the guys running in the back. That way they can pit, get their fuel and tires, and if anyone stays out they can also get their wave rounds there. So on road courses and door to door we do it a little differently, but that's just something you're not aware of, and now we know.
Yeah, Mike also doing race controls tonight, so I would trust him on those matters more than I would trust myself on those matters. Alan Duggar will get the stage win. Brian Burchett will be P2. Steinhoff 3rd. Kerjalak 4th. Nate Pollard needed a good performance here as he's 10 points back of the bubble coming in. He finishes 5th. Daniel Best 6th. Hugh Brown 7th. Thomas Freeman 8th. Stephen Bird 9th. Danny Carpenter 10th. And those 2 cars who were on the bubble coming in, Joshua Switzer and Michael Reeves, neither of those 2 get stage points. And I think as they run, that would put Nate Pollard into the final spot through into the next round.
Yeah, for sure. I'm really excited to see how Colt Huff rebounds in the second stage from making them early mistakes. He made 2 big ones early on. And James Nesta, Danny Carpenter, you're not used to seeing them out back here. So I'm also excited to see how they do in the second stage. But Alan Duggar and Brian Burchett was the stars of this stage. Real fast laps there towards the end. Alan had a 3-second lead there as we finished, and it was a great first stage, and I can't wait for the second one to start.
Yeah, we'll have these cars coming down pit road here in just a minute, and this will be their pit stop for, I assume, 4 tires and gas here to get them ready for stage 2. And with how hard passing can be on a road course like the Charlotte Roval in these next-gen cars, you want to have a good pit stop so you can get out as high as you can. We'll see these cars make their way down into the pit lane here in just a second. And we'll see Alan Duggar and Brian Burchett coming in first. Colt Huff is going to get the lucky dog here behind the wheel of that 08 car, and that will get him back out onto the lead lap. Michael Reeves is going to still be 1 lap down, barring a wave around here. William Lark 4, and Chris Chavez Essery 4 down as well. Thomas Hagelin 7 laps down and out of the race tonight as pit stops begin in full, and you're going to see everybody come down here on the lead lap for fuel and 4 tires. And we'll see what order these cars make it out in. Alan Duggar will look to get out ahead of Brian Burchett so he can get himself clear on this next restart. Cars slow roll it down to the end of pit road where your 17 drivers tonight are all lined up nicely in a row. And this is going to be a 4-tire stop here, I believe, for everybody.
That's one thing I love about this league. They treat it as real-life pit stops. No driving through pit stalls. Everyone on the right side of the pit road. It's awesome. And sitting here being a broadcaster, even just being a viewer watching, it's neat watching that. As Alan here being the first one off the pit road, he had a big lead going into the pit road there, so that's not expected. As we get a tight race off your car side by side, leaving the pits here all throughout the field. Brian actually losing a spot on pit road, P2 going down to P3 to Ryan Steinhoff there. Michael K, sorry, I'm not going to pronounce it. Michael K in 4th, and Daniel Best coming out 5th. Michael Kurgelek, sorry about that, and Daniel Best in 5th.
We're going to throw it to a quick side-by-side break, and when we come back, we'll have the restart. Stay tuned here on Maconi Entertainment.
When you want to be the best, you can't settle for the rest. For anything on iRacing, there's just one name you need: Maconi.
With the launch of Maconi Entertainment and Maconi Competizone alongside Maconi Setup Shop, we now provide the best of the best in setups, paint schemes, coaching, broadcasting, and event organization.
With cars across all 4 license classes, we have what you need to hit the track with confidence. Grab a subscription and save money while going fast at MaconiSetupShop.com/subscriptions.
And remember, at Maconi Setup Shop, there are setups, but your victories.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
We are back here in the Door Racing League at the Roval as these drivers get ready to start stage 2 here. Going to be 15 laps in stage 2 once we get back going. On pole, it's going to be Alan Duggar, your winner of stage 1, and after a good pit stop, Ryan Steinhoff will join him in P2. Anything you're looking for this stage, Mike?
Yeah, it's not as long as a stage as stage 1, and this one ending at the completion of lap 35 here. But I'm looking forward to Colt Huff. He had a bad first stage, many mistakes there, but he got a fast car. I'm excited to see how far up to the field he can get. Maybe he could contend with Duggar. I don't know. Duggar and Brian Burchett, I was right. Damn it. Brian Burchett is really good. And Alan Duggar and Brian Burchett is going to be the race here up front. And I'm excited to see how far Colt can get through the field here, as long as no more mistakes are made.
Yeah, you missed it, but while we were in the break, we did a little Clint Boyer-style radio hopping. Instead of asking Brian any important questions about the race, we just asked him how his last name was pronounced. And we have gotten the ruling that it is Burchett. So, we're getting ready to go here with Alan Duggar and Ryan Steinhoff up on the front row. Duggar is going to be the control car. He'll jump, and we'll go back green at the Roval.
It's always hard to be, I feel for the race control, aka me, here on that restart, because Duggar there didn't hold his lane. Oh, we got it. Oh, this is where I was so afraid of. We got the, they're sideways there. Oh, man, what happened there? Oh, there and that new hairpin turn they added. So much, oh, man, these two corners here I was so worried about. And here at the beginning of stage 2, we already have an accident there so early on. We're going to have
Steinhoff.
But here we go. Sorry.
Steinhoff just looped it there, had contact with Brian Burchett, but it was after he'd already gone around, and then Kurgelak pounded the wall as well, just for a little bit of extracurricular there. A couple cars in big trouble as we made our way down through that section of the racetrack. And by the way, Michael Reeves never came back out of the pits. That was your cut driver in the playoffs, and he entered the pits on that pit stop and never left. So he might be out of the next round here if he can't get that car back out. And Chris Chavez-Essery has just blown an engine idling on pit lane, so he's also done for the night here in that Ford car, as Daniel Best is way out of line going through this final chicane. He is going to lose a spot here potentially to Nate Pollard in what is the battle for second now after all those incidents early on in the lap. Pollard has the run on the outside, and the driver who needs a good day to get himself into the next round is up to second. Daniel Best looked to the inside, but he completely cut the corner there, so he's going to have to cede some time.
What a crazy start to stage 2. Big wrecks in turn 1 there. Going through this little short chute here out of the pit road here. Was very worried about that. And then the hairpin, it seemed like we had a little bit of people. We had, I think, 2 lockups there, but everything working out. Colt Huff keeping it clean coming up through. We have Nate Pollard up front, new name up front. We're going to see what maybe he has for Alan Duggar, but Alan Duggar with a crazy lead there. 7 seconds on Nate, 7 seconds on Nate Pollard there. Already 2-3 laps into the beginning of the second stage.
Seeing a couple car around right here. That is the 3 of Brian Burchett, who is around in the corner after contact with Stephen Bird from behind. Bird with a little bit of a dive bomb there in the 14 car. Ended up collecting the 3 as well in that accident. And that is going to send both of those cars further back through the field, and they'll have to do a lot to recover from that. This has been a big shakeup to the running order here. I mean, Kurgelak has gone from 7th to 4th just in this lap with all the incident. Colt Huff is moving up through the field. Hugh Brown as well. Big shakeups here with these accidents.
That's the kind of turnaround Colt Huff really needed after that disastrous first stage here. But Nate Pollard up front as well. Really good run for him right now. And Switzer moving up a few spots here. But look at here we have Colt Huff still.
Oh, Danny Carpenter around.
Danny Carpenter around. Okay, we'll get to that here. He's slow here. He's able to keep it straight. Where did he fall from? I missed that. How
Went
much
from
did he lose
8th back to 10th on that one.
8th to 10th, and he's still a little slow here. He's getting pressure from Ryan Steinhoff. Looks like the car's not real bad damaged. I'm not sure if he got in the wall there. I'm sure we'll have a replay here in a bit, but just look at the track position. Alan Duggar has a 9-second lead from just that good restart he had. That's amazing here. That just shows you how even on road courses, track position matters a lot here. Not only for the aero blocking, but just the track position, getting that good restart there and getting that good jump.
Yeah, those cars just kind of all piled up right behind him, and he was able to get clear off into the sunset there behind the wheel of that 15 car. It's a dominating lead for him as he looks to win stage 2, and then ideally the win of the race as well here in stage 3. He is just way out in front, doing a great job behind the wheel of that car. Ryan Steinhoff is working his way back through the field just past Thomas Freeman and Danny Carpenter as he tries to reclaim that second position he spun out from. Battle on the track for P3. We've got Michael Kurgelak to the inside of Daniel Best into 1, and Best will pull out of the way. Kurgelak gets that spot. Now behind him, Hugh Brown goes around Joshua Switzer the same way, except Switzer's going to cross it back over, and he's going to turn him in turn 1. 35 car around, nearly collects James Nesta there off the nose of Joshua Switzer.
That was a crazy send into that corner. I'm not sure if something happened there or what happened. But he got past there, crossed him over, and he just sent it in. And he said, "Get out of my way. I'm getting this spot back." And he just sent him sideways there. Michael Reeves in the chat. It looks like he's back going. Yeah, he's 4 laps down. Maybe he was getting his damage repaired there, but on the cut line there, this is going to be close. I'm not sure if he needs... he's probably hoping for the 1 through 12 to crash and he could get some stage points and finish second, but man, he's going to need to gain some laps here, hope some more people crash out.
Well, he'd be in a much better position if it wasn't for the fact that Nate Pollard, one of the cars outside the bubble, is running in second right now. With the stage points Nate Pollard has gotten from the first stage, and if he finishes second in the second stage, he will jump in. He'll be that 8th car in the playoffs, and then all he needs to do is ride it to the finish. Less than 4 laps down as Kurgelak tapped from behind by the 08 of Colt Huff there through that front stretch chicane. Kurgelak holds the position, but Huff is still there challenging and might have to force his way through once again here.
A lot of action here in the second stage. It's going to be interesting to see where everything plays out, because we've been seeing a lot of wrecks, a lot of carnage. Some incidents seem that they could be easily avoidable, and we have tons of cars spinning. It doesn't seem to be as many mistakes as by one person ending their race, but more other people ending each other's races. So, man, this road course could bring out some rivalries to look forward to in the future. Ryan Steinhoff closing in on James Nesta. We got a good battle here. We got, one off in the grass here. Overcooked the corner. That's Josh Switzer there, 3 wide here. Man, Ryan Steinhoff on the bottom, 3 wide. Oh man, if we go to the chicane 3 wide, I'm not sure what's going to happen. Okay, we're no longer 3 wide, but Ryan Steinhoff benefiting 2 positions there on Nesta and Switzer.
Michael Reeves is officially out of the session. He has just left the race, so the 0-0 is done and is eliminated from your playoff fight here tonight. He will not advance to the next round of the playoffs as these drivers continue to work their way around the racetrack. It was a bad lap for Daniel Best. He went from 3rd. Oh, he's going to try to punt Colt Huff. He went from 3rd back to 5th. That promoted Kurgelak and Colt Huff a spot. Just a little bit of contact there with the bumper of that 08 car. Nearly caught both of those cars out. It is really cloudy right now around Charlotte. This track temperature is low. That's better for these drivers because it's letting them run it a little more aggressively, but on these restarts, it can lead to cold tires, and I think we've seen that in a couple accidents here tonight.
look at Colt Huff up at the position number 4. I was really looking at him to run good in the second stage, and he is doing just that. Daniel Best closing in on him, though. I'm pretty sure Colt just got by him, but Daniel's going to try to give it all the marbles, all the beans on the outside here. Colt made early mistakes, and another mistake right there. Oh, he got it straight. It looks like Daniel ran a little wide there as well. Daniel's going to have a run here, use the entire track, the banking, to get a little bit more speed there coming down as they go into the backstretch chicane here. But Colt Huff definitely off to a way better start in stage 2 than he was in stage 1.
Brian Birch is trying to close up on Thomas Freeman here. This is for 9th position between these two cars. That 3 is lurking a little bit in the background, trying to get closer, but right now he just doesn't have the gap to get it done. He is a lot faster in that 17 car, so it won't be long as Colt Huff makes his move up here for P4. Big slide through the chicane, but he gets the spot away from James Nesta, so he'll be up to P4. Excuse me, this is ahead of Daniel Best. He'll be back to P5. James Nesta sitting in 7th behind Ryan Steinhoff.
Michael Kerjelak there running the fastest lap of the race. It's going to be interesting to see if he is able to catch, the top 3 here. See what happens there. Or, sorry, not top 3, the top 2 here. And see what happens here. He ran a few tenths quicker than the leader and over a second and a half quicker than P2 there, Nate Pollard. Nate Pollard having an excellent stage 2 here. How are the points looking here with Michael Reeves out? I know Nate Pollard and Michael Reeves were in a tight battle there. He was below the cut line, but how's it looking now? Oh, 74
Best
got into him there.
Oh, Best takes the punt. Yeah, Best took the punt there from Steinhoff, and that got him into Colt Huff in the 08. Colt Huff is going to make it out okay, and Steinhoff is now going to look to pass Daniel Best here for P5 as he works his way all the way back up through the field here behind the wheel of that 74 car, and it's a huge dive into the corner for him. Bit of a slow entry for Colt Huff, and that'll allow those 2 cars behind him to really make a dent in that gap. Steinhoff spun out from 2nd to start the stage. He's looking to close back in. As to the point situation, Nate Pollard came in 10 back from Michael Reeves, and he got the most stage points in stage 1. He's currently running 2nd right now. His other competition would be Joshua Switzer, but Joshua Switzer did not get any stage points in stage 1. And that got Nate Pollard ahead of him. With the extra stage points he's going to get here in stage 2, he should be plenty clear of these drivers if he just finishes up here in the top 5 and gets a good result.
That's great to hear for him. Heartbreaking for a few others, but Michael Reeves out early on. Unfortunate ending to his race there. But Nate Pollard, it looked like he's going to finish up front there, running pretty consistent times up front, fast times compared to the leader. And he should be good here to hold on to these spots as long as he doesn't make any silly mistakes, get involved in anyone else's drama, and he should be able to stack up some good stage points here. Rolling into the replay here, Ryan Steinhoff here. Oh, that's when he overcooked it. Just got loose there on the first stage of first lap of stage 2. Brought a few others into it. Luckily, most of the field was able to get around it as he just turns it around here. And here we have Danny Carpenter going here. Same spot, it looks like. We're in turn 1 here, and what happens again? Oh, look at the bounce in the rear end. He was able to keep it clean though. No damage to his car. That could have easily ended his race if he didn't lock it down there, but he was smart about it. Gave up a little bit of time and knew he had a long race ahead of him. Oh, and someone nails the wall here. Was that Carpenter there? We were just talking about him. Oh man, is that a commentator's curse there? Is that my first commentator's curse? Not sure, but he still got time to gain. Still a long race left. We're not even halfway.
Yeah, we're running towards the end of stage 2 here. Not too many laps left there. Stage caution will come out on lap 35 as Thomas Freeman is now taking a peek back to the inside. He doesn't have anything for Joshua Switzer, and he'll back out before they head down into the corner. That 17 car trying to work his way back up. He's been losing a couple spots. Steinhoff to the bumper of Colt Huff here coming out of the corner, and Steinhoff is loose. Had to get down on the apron there to avoid spinning out, and he has lost about a second to Colt Huff just in that one maneuver. And that's going to be a problem for him because it's going to put him a little closer to Daniel Best. Steinhoff on his charge back through the field has a long ways left to go. And if he gets loose again trying to get around Colt Huff, he'll be in big trouble.
Everyone through the field pretty much single file now. We still have battles though throughout. We have right here Thomas Freeman and Josh Switzer. Josh Switzer falling back a few spots. He was up front not too long ago, I feel. But he's slowly bleeding spots here. Not sure if it's a bad adjustment, if he got involved in someone else's stuff, or if he has damage on the car. There were a lot of wrecks here throughout the field, especially that turn one. I think he might have, on that lap one, on a stage 2 lap 1 wreck, I think he might have got some damage there. I'm not sure. Oh! We see the 17, Thomas Freeman, getting loose there, locking it up, keeping it clean, and everything good there. Brian Burchett putting pressure on James Nesta here for the P7 position here. Let's see, he's going to go for a deep send, maybe. Nah, he thought better of it. Smoke up ahead, not sure what that's about. But Brian Burchett putting heavy pressure on James Nesta.
Battle continues to rage between these two cars. Burchett had a bit of a moment up the inside there, but didn't quite end up getting to him. He was faster than Nesta last time around by about 0.3 of a second, so he's definitely got the speed here to close this gap up and get this move done. See if he maybe tries to outbrake Nesta down into the chicane. Not quite. Does pull himself up a little closer to the bumper, but he's not able to get all the way around the driver of that 29 car, and he continues to sit here in P8. Steinhoff making his way back up through the field as the sun starts to come out a little more on this front straightaway. Still stuck behind Colt Huff as he has been for the last several laps now. And Colt Huff is going to go around, so he's not going to be stuck behind Colt Huff anymore. Steinhoff cleared through the 4th, Best to 5th. Colt Huff is going to drop several positions going all the way back to P8. He is around into turn 1, and he's almost around again in turn 1 there. That car maybe overheated the tires because he is having some major problems on that 08 right now. That thing wants to spin.
Colt Huff definitely having issues here. Just like stage 1, looks like he's having many less issues, in stage 2. Kept it real clean. Went from, I think, P13 he was in at stage 1 all the way up to, I believe he was up to 4th there, but issues here late in stage 2, and you know, Colt looking for a better stage 2. He's having a little bit of a better one, but as long as he keeps it clean in stage 3, has a good plan, good pit strategy, good pit stop, and everything stays good for him, no silly mistakes, he should be able to round off with the top 5 here in stage 3.
Might be able to do that for sure. I'm so impressed with Nate Pollard right now. He's under pursuit from Kerjalak for P2. But he needs to come up big tonight here to cook himself into the next round, and he is doing it right now as Kerjalak sits 3rd, trying to pursue him, but that's just a great run for Nate Pollard, isn't it? He'll have 3 laps to go here to run out the stage, and if he can do that and hold himself into even a top 3 position, he's going to have a major advantage in those points to get himself into the round of 8. Bit of an underdog candidate. He'll pull over, he'll let Kerjalak by. Doesn't need to race him too hard. He's got a 10-second gap to Steinhoff behind him.
He should definitely be able to hold the 10-second gap to Steinhoff as long as he doesn't make a mistake. But maybe he can, you know, let him by, learn a little bit on how he runs his line, or maybe where he brakes at. Maybe he could pick up a few seconds on his, a few tenths, few hundredths on his lap time, and maybe make him that much better for stage 3. Or maybe he's like, oh wow, Michael Kerjalak is diving in this much deeper. Maybe I need to adjust my brake bias here, or maybe it's not even the setup. Maybe it's just a driver. But I'm sure letting him by was a great plan there. Letting him behind him was only gonna slow him down, trying to block and weave, and it would slow both of them down. And maybe he could have lost even P4 to Ryan Steinhoff.
Time running out here in the stage as Kerjalak is going to come across the start-finish line here, 16 seconds behind Alan Duggar, who is just really putting a hurt on the whole field here. We got about 2.5 more laps to go for the driver of that 15 car, and he'll be clear to the end of the stage. Thomas Freeman has fallen out of the stage points positions here in that 11 car. He has been on a slow but steady drop back through the field, in that 17 car, running in 11th right now. As he sits behind Colt Huff, as he sits behind Joshua Switzer. He's now got Stephen Bird right up behind him as well, and if Stephen Bird can get around Freeman, that would put him back to P12 here to end the stage. Bird is going to look to try and get a couple more spots here and maybe steal some playoff points out of this thing before it's all said and done. But he needs to pass both Freeman and Colt Huff, who's currently sitting in 10th, to do that.
Colt Huff under pressure from Freeman and Bird. A big mistake from him earlier. Brought him all the way back here, but there's still positions to gain here as we're going into these final laps. There's 2 spots ahead of him. Switzer, he's falling back, and Carpenter not too far ahead. So it's not over for Huff. He has a few spots to gain here. He could still do it, but there's pressure on him from the rear, so he definitely needs to keep his eyes on the mirror as Freeman's right behind him, and not too far back is Stephen Bird.
Yeah, Stephen Bird, if he can try it, he will, but I think he might just be a little too far back here in order to actually get this done. Colt Huff is trying to set a little something up on Joshua Switzer. That could have playoff implications here if Switzer loses yet another playoff point while Nate Pollard continues to run around up there in the top 3, having a great race. He just needs to have a clean stage 3, and he might be home free here in the playoff fight. Freeman continues to be stalked by Bird as we work our way through the front stretch chicane. 2 laps to go for these cars, and I think Bird might just not have enough time to get it done. Only 13 cars still left out in this race right here, so a lot of drivers getting a stage point as this has become a bit of a race of attrition for these cars. Kind of just got to manage the race, stay in the race, and if you do that like Ryan Steinhoff has, even if you have a big accident, you can still pull out a pretty good finish here today. Alan Duggar is going to come around and he'll take the white flag in stage 2 this time.
That's one of the things I love and hate about road course racing, how a simple mistake can ruin your day and no one else's, because there's no yellows. You don't have any other chances to catch back up to the field, and if you're not stage racing, that's it. So every corner, every brake percentage, every throttle percentage, everything, your shift points is so crucial. And one simple mistake, your whole race is over and you'd be sitting here running 71 laps for nothing. But luckily we have stages here, and it's not all, you're allowed mistakes in here because of the stages, but coming to stage 3, no quick repairs in the entire race. So stage 3 is where everyone's going to lay it all on the line, where it doesn't matter, there's no reset. So it's important to make sure you don't make any mistakes because there's no more yellows, but give it all you got to try to get the position you can to lock yourself into the next round here as we close the playoffs here.
Yeah, round of 8 comes up after this, and that one is going to be really important. You got to have a good showing here, especially with the amount of stage points that kind of divide some of these cars up towards the front of the field. There's the playoff points that divide some of these cars up towards the front of the field. Guys like Trevor Baxter have so many playoff points. It's going to make it hard for these drivers like Nate Pollard, who are trying to sneak in to catch him. But anything they can do tonight will help as Alan Duggar takes the line. He wins stage 2.
Alan Duggar winning stage 2. Michael Kurgelak in 2nd, Nate Pollard in 3rd, Ryan Steinhoff in 4th, Daniel Best in 5th, Nesta 6th, Brian Burchett in 7th, Danny Carpenter in 8th, Colt Huff in 9th, and Josh Switzer in 10th. Thomas Freeman 11th, Stephen Bird 12th, and Hugh Brown in 13th here. Going into the end of stage 2 here, starting stage 3 soon. Alan Duggar with an amazing performance here in stage 1 and stage 2. He's hoping to have an amazing pit stop here before we enter stage 3, and hopefully no one can jump him on the pits, and he has a great plan here to make a good green flag pit stop here in stage 3.
We will see what happens when these cars make their way around for pit road. For now, we're going to take a quick side-by-side commercial break, and when we come back, we'll have stage 3 and the results of the pit stop. Stay tuned.
When you want to be the best, you can't settle for the rest. For anything on iRacing, there's just one name you need: Maconi.
With the launch of Maconi Entertainment and Maconi Competizone alongside Maconi Setup Shop, we now provide the best of the best in setups, paint schemes, coaching, broadcasting, and event organization.
With cars across all 4 license classes, we have what you need to hit the track with confidence. Grab a subscription and save money while going fast at MaconiSetupShop.com/subscriptions.
And remember, at Maconi Setup Shop, there are setups, but your victories.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series in officially licensed cars engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
We are back here in the Door Racing League from the Charlotte Roval, and pit stops just occurred. Alan Duggar came out of the pits in first on a not Alan Duggar came out of the pits. He came out of the pits second. iRacing is lying to me. Nate Pollard came out of the pits first on a 2-tire call. He'll be out in front of Alan Duggar, Ryan Steinhoff, Michael Kurgelak, Daniel Best, Brian Burchett, Danny Carpenter, Joshua Switzer, Thomas Freeman, and Stephen Bird. The rest of your top 10 at the moment. Lap and a half till we get going back green.
Colt Huff back here in 12th. Not too sure if he was fixing up damage, if he had issue on pit road, but he has a far way to go here. He got a lot of laps to do it. He struggled in stage 1, had a pretty good clean stage 2 until the end of that there. Made a mistake and lost a few spots, so he got a long way to go. But I'm sure he's going to be able to do it. But Nate Pollard taking 2 tires there on the road course. He got such a long run here, but there is a green flag stop here. Maybe he's thinking the track position is going to be okay, and the 2 tires are going to hold up long enough until that stage caution, until that green flag pit stop.
We will see if those tires hold up to the green flag pit stop. If I was Pollard, I might have played it a little less risky. I might have gone for only that 4-tire call because he is kind of the favorite to get into the next round of the playoffs there after problems from Joshua Switzer and Michael Reeves, the cars he was battling with. If he just takes 4 tires, runs out the rest of this race in 3rd, he would likely be able to grab a win just off that. Or not grab a win, but grab a advancing to the next round of the playoffs just off that. 2-tire call. It's going to be interesting. I think he is kind of going on the basis that he might be able to get ahead of Duggar, maybe dodge some wrecks and just hold that spot, but we'll have to see how it plays out here over the course of this race. It's going to be an interesting one for sure.
Maybe he's doing the 1,000 IQ play, and he plans on stacking up the whole field and wrecking the whole field there in that corner, and then no
Never
one
know.
can continue on. He could just block the whole field and end it there. That's the race, guys. But we'll see what happens. But 13 car field here left, and not a whole lot going on right now as we're pacing here. Double wide the pace car. There might be some dirt or debris on the track there. It looked like the pace car was shooting up some dirt there. Maybe the pace car is blowing up here. But yeah, this new part of the track, I cannot get used to. I'm still so used to turning there, sharp right there, but these guys seem to have it figured out pretty well. That's why I'm just sitting here commentating and race controlling, and I'm not actually driving out there, and I'll leave that to the professionals.
Yeah, Alan Duggar looks like a professional here with how well he's done tonight, but he is going to have to get around Nate Pollard on this next restart if he wants to run away with the lead here and actually try to get something done. We'll see how this all shakes out here as it comes time to run the end of the race here tonight. The final 33 laps here at the Charlotte Roval out of the 71 we're doing tonight in the Door Racing League. Alan Duggar has led every lap up until this caution where a two-tire call from Nate Pollard got him the jump and ultimately got him the lead of this race here tonight. And we'll see if he's able to hold on to the race. Maybe dodge some of the chaos that took the second place driver last time of Ryan Steinhoff and get out in front. It's all going to come up to this final restart here in this race as we start stage 3. What you do on this restart is going to have a massive, massive say in how the rest of your night goes. If you have a good restart, you're going to be up front for most of the rest of the race as these cars have been getting very strung out and it gets very difficult to pass here. But if you have a rough restart and you drop a few spots, it's going to be a lot harder to gain those spots back. You got to be perfect on this restart. You got to be perfect on the green flag pit stops, and you got to make sure you don't make any mistakes that could keep you out of the race, like the 4 cars we've already seen DNF tonight. The pace car is going to pull into the pit road here, and on the front row, it'll be Alan Duggar, and your control car, the 16 of Nate Pollard, as he looks to find his way into the round of 8. He's got the jump down here on the inside, and we're back green at the Roval.
Nate Pollard off to a great start there. It was very interesting. He chose the outside there. I didn't know if that was the best idea, but he seemed to make it work. I also didn't know if taking 2 tires was the best idea, but he seemed to make it work. Oh, we got a wreck here in the back. I'm not sure who that was, but Alan Duggar closed on Nate Pollard's tail, not letting him get away. He is charging. Nate Pollard going to be holding on for dear life here. Alan Duggar on his right, still staying with him. He's unable to drive away from him like he thought he would when, he just took the 2 tires and was able to get the lead. Who's it? Number 5, Daniel Best here, coming into the hairpin turn here. I'm not a big fan of this turn. Is there any issues? Looks like we get through it clean.
Side by side for the lead. Alan Duggar to the inside of Nate Pollard after that corner. And it looks like he'll get that spot. Alan Duggar to P1 over Nate Pollard in the 16. Down the back straightaway, does Pollard have anything for Duggar? The answer is no. And Alan Duggar gets back out front on his quest to lead every green flag lap here tonight. He has it right now over Nate Pollard on 2 tires. Ryan Steinhoff recovered from that accident on the last restart, and he is rapidly closing in to this 16 car as well. See if he can take P2 back. Road course specialist Ryan Steinhoff has 3 top 3s on the road courses this season. Looking for a 4th tonight, looking for potentially a 1st win in the Door Racing League tonight if he's able to get it done.
I'm so interested to see what Nate Pollard's plan is when it comes time to these green flag pit stops. He took them 2 tires here. I would assume he plans on pitting a little earlier, just, as soon as he can fill up the tank to get them 4 fresh tires, and that way he can give it his all and kill him for the rest of the run there. I'm not sure. Maybe he plans on waiting a little bit and just trying to take advantage of the track position. So I'm not too sure what his plan is. If everyone, there he's around in the wall there. Did he just lose that himself, or did he get help?
He lost it there all on his own to steal a line from Rick Allen. Major playoff implications there for the 16 of Nate Pollard, who had just moved himself above the cut line by getting good stage points in stage 2 and stage 1 and running up in 3rd. And now he's going to slip that car all the way back to 6th, and he has damage the car he's battling with for this last spot is Joshua Switzer, who now only has one spot behind him. Switzer is kind of at a disadvantage here after those stage points for Nate Pollard, but he's a lot closer than he was before, and he might have some hope now behind the wheel of that 6 car. Oh, big lockup for Daniel Best up in front of him there. Here, he nearly went into the barrel on pit road there. That could not have been any closer.
This race is just so crazy, so much playoff implications, like you said here. Oh man, I bet he's regretting taking 2 tires now. I wonder if that was the case of taking 2 tires there, that lock up there, getting loose sideways there. His car's damaged now. Could be a longer pit stop. Maybe he's going to get his damage repaired, but with the playoffs here and Switzer right on his tail, I'm not too sure what's going to happen. But man, it's going to be a hard battle. He got a long race, 30 laps left to drive a damaged car and hold off some of the best drivers in the league here behind him.
We'll see what he can do here. Kerjalak and Burchett are also moving their way back up through the field here, trying to get some good points today, get some good results. Burchett, I know, is not in the playoffs hunt right now. Kerjalak is not either. Neither of these cars ran enough races to really make it into the playoffs, but they put on a good showing at the road courses this season, and they're trying to do that once again here today. See if either of these cars are able to get around Steinhoff. Dallin Duggar continues his sheer dominance out in front of the field. Nate Pollard is trying to close up to Daniel Best, but he's still got quite a ways to go in that 16 car. This is the battle on track. Closest battle, 2nd through 3rd, and Joshua Switzer has had a problem. That car has gone all the way back to 11th. He spun it in the back chicane. That is huge for Nate Pollard, as Joshua Switzer didn't hit anything, but did lose 4 positions.
That definitely gives Pollard a lot more room for error here. He can baby the car a little bit more, just try to limp it through to get the 4 tires and get maybe some damage fixed. So now his stop, if he was able to continue driving it how it was, he might be able to get a little damage fixed and could increase his lap times a little bit there. So that's great news for him. Not sure if Switzer spun out there, but maybe pushing a little too hard. Saw them points right in front of him, just dangling in front of him, and just maybe overstepped the car a little bit here. But Ryan Steinhoff overtaking P2 there. He said all his road courses top 3, top 3.
Big moment for Danny Carpenter.
Yeah,
he
sure.
got into Colt Huff. Colt Huff was the one who spun it, and then Danny Carpenter got into the back end, and that triggered a stack up in that hairpin corner that caught up a couple cars.
As I was saying, I'm not sure if, he overstepped it, seeing the points dangle right in front of him, had to get them positioned, just overstepped there, what happened there. But,
Carpenter on the wall. It gets bad to worse for that 28 car. He just put it in the fence, lost the spot to Freeman. Now Colt Huff is getting passed by James Nesta. These 2 cars might have some damage after their incidents. Colt Huff back to the inside of James Nesta here, door-to-door into the corner contact as we get a car around on the exit, and that's going to stack everybody up. Stephen Bird lost it, and that is going to really hurt Colt Huff. We're 3 wide. Freeman is now around down the front straightaway. Oh my goodness. Just keeps going.
This final stage is complete chaos. There's no more yellow flags, so what you have is what you got. Man, this is so many accidents here, and this is before the pit stops here, so this race could completely change. We don't know if some people have to pit and fix their damage, or if these cars are even half drivable here. So Nate Pollard in P6 there, Josh Switzer's spin wasn't that big anymore because he's only 2 spots back now. So all these accidents happening, and it's not that big of a gap anymore for Switzer.
Ooh, Carpenter with a wide line through that chicane, that hairpin. Didn't have a good run through there. That's really going to hurt that car. As Nate Pollard has caught back up to Daniel Best here. This battle is going to try to go in just a second. Pollard has closed that up into about a half-second gap between these 2 cars. Steinhoff still being pursued by Kerjalak and Burchett as well. 28 laps to go here. The road. Oh, we got another car in the fence. It's 35 of Hugh Brown getting into it there.
Hugh Brown under heavy attack from Thomas Freeman. Freeman giving them the fill in his mirror there. All these seasons at 17 Brown catching Colt Huff there. Colt Huff a little slow there. Not sure if something happened there, but Colt Huff not having the start to stage 3 like he thought he would. He was quick in stage 1 and stage 2, so it's definitely disappointing to see him back here. Hopefully he can turn things around and have a good pit stop and maybe get some more speed here, maybe make some adjustments, or maybe he made some adjustments and they went the wrong way, and hopefully get a speed up there as we see the Colt in the grass there.
Colt Huff has had such an up and down day. He's been up in the top 5, he's been outside the top 10, he's been a lap down, he's been basically everywhere behind the wheel of that 08 car. Right now sitting in 9th. Van Hugh Brown tried a bit of a send there to get to the inside of him, but didn't end up working for that car, so Hugh Brown will hold the position for the moment as we're single filed out through the field here and continuing to turn laps in the Door Racing League at the Charlotte Roval. Oh, we want around on Steinhoff. Yep, Steinhoff has lost it from P2 in the front chicane. Looped it all on his own after bouncing off the turtles wickedly. And he'll lose that spot. Kurjalak up to P2. Brian Burchett back down to P3.
Alan Duggar just has such a lead. Ryan Steinhoff sent it in there. You can see here, Steinhoff giving it everything it has, trying to send it in there. As we still have just had an incident on the track, but he just caught a little bit too much of the turtles. Backed into, got the rear end of the car there a little bit in the wall. Hopefully not too much damage there for him, but he definitely sent it in there real hard, trying to get everything he can, because the lap times, he's a little bit off of Alan Duggar, but he's trying to catch him, and he just drove it in there a little too hard, made a little mistake there.
Hugh Brown continuing to work his way up through the field, a little bit loose there. Went wide, got on the outside of the racetrack as he tries to pursue that damaged 08 car of Colt Huff. He'll have a peek to the inside and just completely cuts the chicane, and he's going to turn that 08 car around. That'll get Thomas Freeman in the spot of the P9, and Danny Carpenter is back behind these two cars as well. He'll get the one on Colt Huff here. Colt Huff, through the kind of smash and pass tactics of Hugh Brown, is going to lose 3 spots.
He definitely saw them make contact there and said, thank you for these free spots. I don't mind that at all. And he just drove on right by, but he's definitely getting pressured by Hugh Brown here. Hugh Brown's trying to get that spot back, saying, I didn't want to give you that, give it back. And Hugh Brown, we've been seeing Hugh Brown involved in a lot of incidents here tonight. So he was going to send it in here deep. He got a little loose there. Oh, and we got a lock up there. And he overshoots it. Hugh off in the grass, jumped the turtle, and then Colt Huff said, thank you, I'll take these spots right back. So definitely a lot of action going on here in the back.
Oh, Freeman!
Oh, Freeman! Oh, hard. He just locked him up, dove in there way too deep, and he nosed it. It looks like Chase Elliott.
They used to call that, they used to call that heartburn turn for a reason down there, and Thomas Freeman is finding out why. As we're side by side for P2, it's going to be Burchett up the inside of Kurjalak. And Burchett's going to get the spot there. Advances up to second place, but no one has anything for Alan Duggar, who is about 6 seconds and climbing up in front of the field right now. Burchett got all the way away there as Kurjalak really struggled.
Alan has a 6-second gap on second place there, and I bet you Freeman is hoping his race ends like Elliott's did, that when he stuffed the head on there in the heartburn turn. Elliott ended up winning there, but Freeman has a lot of ground to make up. He isn't laying down the fastest lap times, but anything can still happen. It's a long race here. We got 25 laps left to go, and some pit strategy could turn the whole thing around, but Alan Duggar laying some quick times there. Brian Burchett not too far off though. He might have a long run car here because it looks like he's closing the gap, and this could make for a crazy finish of this race depending on how it plays out.
Time is running down here in this race. Burchett is going to find out if he has anything for Duggar, but he just locked it up pretty roughly in that corner, so I'm leaning towards he probably doesn't have anything for Duggar, as this car is just really dominating today. The 15 looking to grab his 4th win of the year with Trevor Baxter, the driver who's won 14 out tonight. It has been all Alan Duggar all night long right now. In the playoff battle, Nate Pollard running 6th. Looks like he will be the driver who gets the spot in that final round after some good stage points for him and a bad run for both Switzer. As we got a battle on track here, Colt Huff will hold the spot ahead of Hugh Brown. After a bad race for both Switzer and for Michael Reeves, have gotten Pollard a decently big gap.
Yeah, Nate Pollard still staying heavy. Oh, we got Hugh Brown sitting in there deep there, getting that spot on Huff, hitting both the turtles. Huff trying to get a good run out, and Hugh's just able to keep it, keep the momentum. But Switzer, not too far behind Pollard there, so definitely, Switzer made that mistake there, but a few more accidents and whatnot happened after, so he's definitely closing in, but definitely the big loser here was Reeves. Hugh sitting in deep there. I didn't think he was going to make that corner. Somehow he managed to get it slowed down there. I'm not sure. He definitely gained a lot there on Colt there. Colt sitting in real deep here. I'm not sure if he saw what happened to Freeman or not, but he sent it in there deep too. But Huff hot on the trail there of Brown, and there's been a good battle here for these few spots back here, 9th, 10th, and 11th there. They're definitely beating and banging and using all the car and all the track up.
They have been. Colt Huff has been getting used up by basically everybody tonight. It's not been a great race for that 08 car. We mentioned it's been up and down. Stage 3 for Colt Huff has been very much down behind the wheel of that 08. And yet he's still right about where he started. He started this race in P9, he's running P10. Biggest mover, Joshua Switzer, up 16-8, and yet that still might not be enough to get him into the next round of the playoffs here, as Nate Pollard has put on a really great race in that 16. Even on 2 tires, he's doing a great job to manage what he needs in order to get himself into this next round, as Joshua Switzer has just completely blown the chicane, and I imagine he's going to have to serve some sort of time penalty that'll take him closer to Hugh Brown.
You said Brian Burchett might not have enough for Alan Duggar, but looking at the lap times, Duggar is getting slower and slower, and then slowly closing that gap to Burchett. But looking at the times, Michael Kurtulak is catching Brian Burchett in times, not too far off. Oh, and we have one hard in the front stretch wall. That's the turn 1 wall. That's Colt Huff hard into that. That could be race-ending damage right there. He nailed that wall. Looks like he's still going. Oh no, it looks like it's
cooked. It's meatball. He's got a meatball flag.
That's a race ender for Colt Huff there. He might be able to get back out there and make a few laps, but man, from his race going good, worst, to okay, to bad, to awful. Oh, what a heartbreaker for Colt Huff.
Bad to worse to even worse for Colt Huff, and that will take him not just out of the top 10, but out of the race here tonight. Hugh Brown runs P9 behind the wheel of that car as he is in pursuit of the 6 of Joshua Switzer, who, as mentioned, blew that chicane last time around and had to serve a pretty big time penalty for it, and that has given Hugh Brown the chance to get back in this fight. He'll dive it up the inside here. Both cars lock it up. Hugh Brown locks it up less, and he's going to be the one who comes away with P8.
Hugh Brown, aka Code Brown, he's been sending these cars deeper than they should be. A lot of people may be scared on the track from him, but he's been beating and banging, and I don't even know if they've all necessarily been his fault, but he's been involved in a lot of stuff here. But a lot of passes going on back here, a lot of spots. He said 9th through 11th here, but he's up to 8th right now, so Hugh Brown definitely making a lot of time up on track, and Josh Switzer slowly falling back. Nate Pollard loves to see that, especially for the playoff here, all the points needed, and with it being as close as it is, he loves seeing Switzer fall back every spot that he can. And Switzer, in the wall here. It doesn't look like there's much damage. He just lightly brushed the wall. That was almost bad. That could have ended awful for him. Nate Pollard, I'm sure, loves to hear that as well.
Yeah, the worse Switzer does, the better Nate Pollard is feeling. If Switzer has something to go wrong, doesn't finish this race, Pollard is basically automatically into the next round at that point. And he would love to snag that 8th spot and advance himself into the round of 8. He's going to be at a disadvantage here in terms of playoff points compared to a lot of these cars in front of him, but he snuck through the first 2 rounds, and who knows what he can do to try and get himself into that final race here at Phoenix to close out the season, as Pollard's still in pursuit of the 5 of Daniel Best, but Best has really reopened that gap. Burchett and Duggar are running very similar lap times, but I think Duggar has still just been a little bit faster here over the last few laps, and as track temperature continues to fall as we get later into the evening, it's only going to get more and more apparent. First car in for the green flag pit stop is going to be the 6 of Joshua Switzer. see what the call is for this 6 car.
I was just about to bring up the green flag pit stops could soon be happening. I'm not sure if he got a little bit of damage there, just trying to get it fixed, or what actually happened there. But green flag pit stops, this could be starting here soon. Switzer taking his down the pit road already. And was that just a splash and go? I didn't see any tires there. Did you see any tires?
I believe that was just a splash and go for the 6 of Joshua Switzer, and he'll be right back out on the racetrack here with 20 to go. He's going to grab enough fuel to make it to the end of the race and get out. So we'll see if that's the call here for the other drivers when they start coming in. Are they all on the same strategy that Switzer is on? Only 11 cars really still out in the race here, as Colt Huff has ended up out of the race, and Stephen Bird has also ended up likely out of the race now, as he's been in the pits for 3 laps. So an 11-car fight. Daniel Best will be the next one in. Brian Burchett, Ryan Steinhoff also down right now. Those cars were running 2nd and 4th respectively. And this is going to be 2 tires at least for Brian Burchett. Drop the rights. The lefts are also going to go up. So a 4-tire stop here for Brian Burchett. Steinhoff as well, coming down to take 4. Switzer kind of in a weird strategy call there with only fuel only in comparison to these cars. Best is going to jack the right sides up as well. So it might just be a bit of a unique strategy call for Joshua Switzer to take gas only, as everybody else is going to put 4 tires on him. And that's honestly, with the amount of tire fall off we've seen, a bit of an interesting call as Best almost loses the exiting the pits.
I'm definitely excited to see here what Brian Burchett has in the tank here, because his lap times towards the end there were faster than Alan Duggar. So I'm not sure if Alan Duggar's just using his stuff up, or if Brian just getting that quick at the end is there saving it, managing it the entire run. But he was 2/10 quicker that last lap, I believe, right before he pitted there. Michael Kerjlak entering the pits here as well. Alan Duggar still staying out on the track. I'm not sure if Alan Duggar is gonna come in and just take a little splash there, because he's losing a little time. I'm sure he might take 4 tires as here's Michael Kerjlak coming down the pit road here. Have a few in the pits right now. Let's see. Pulls into a stall, stops perfectly, doesn't overshoot it. Right side's coming up here. Stays in. Left sides are going to be coming up here. Yep, left sides as well. And he has a nice clean pit stop here, as long as he can not stay below the pit speed limit and make a nice exit there. And looks like it was a nice exit for him.
Danny Carpenter now in as well with the 28 car. It's one of the last cars on the lead lap here in this race. Has not been a good run for the driver of the 28, but I think he's likely into the next round of the playoffs. Just on playoff points, came into this race with a 28-point gap, and 4 tires will go on the car for Danny Carpenter as well. And he'll make it back out of the pits here in last, behind a couple cars. Ahead of a couple, behind. Directions are hard. Behind a couple cars like Freeman and Best, who are still kind of yet to pit here for those cars. Best has, Freeman hasn't. Hugh Brown and Nesta also have not come down pit road.
Alan Duggar and Nate Pollard they haven't pit yet either, right?
No, they have not.
Yeah, I'm interested. Kerjlak locking it up here on the exit of the chicane, and Pollard locked it up hard there too. I'm not sure if they're pushing it for everything they have, trying to use all that tire up. They said, if you got it, if you give them to me, we're gonna use them. So I'm not sure if they're trying to use it all. They're definitely not the quickest way, but maybe they're gonna pit soon here, making some mistakes here, flat spotting their tires. And Ryan Steinhoff here, you can see he's closing in on Michael Kerjlak. He locked up his tires there, so not sure if the pressure from Ryan is getting to him, or just he's making mistakes here as Ryan's filling up his mirror. But you can see it's definitely a close battle here. Pollard, Kerjlak, and Steinhoff here. Ryan definitely really fast here, closing the gap quick. Not sure if he's going to get let by, but Switzer there being in the back. Pollard's holding these cars up. That's going to be 2 spots there, and that gap is right there because Pollard's yet to pit. So, what do you think about this call? Pollard staying out this long. Oh, Pollard getting sideways. They're locking it up in front of them. Oh, he's lucky. Oh, and he gets sideways again. Oh, his tires got to be killed.
Yeah, it's fresh tires here for Steinhoff and Kerjlak versus his 37-lap-old left side tires for Nate Pollard, and they are gone on that car. I think we'll see him into the pits pretty soon here for that 16 cars.
Yo, he overtook
Kerjelak blows the chicane, and he's going to have to come to a stop there. So that'll let Steinhoff back around, and it'll let Pollard back around as well. So Pollard back up into P4. We'll see if he makes a pit stop here. I would not be surprised if he does. Yeah, he is. He's slowing down. Pollard is into the pits.
Pollard into the pits here. Interesting to see how close he comes out to Switzer here. Definitely had a Code Brown there, and it wasn't even involving Hugh Brown. But a lot going on here. He locked it up. He's been having so many issues here, killing them tires here. As Brian Burchett just set the quickest lap. Alan Duggar, oh my goodness, he hit a hit. He killed that lap, 121. Wow, what a quick lap there. That was over a second quicker than what we were seeing from Alan Duggar. Alan Duggar ran a real slow lap there. Did Duggar pit and we miss it?
He pit and he only took 2 tires.
Got it. He pit and took 2 tires there. Man, Brian just ran down a crazy lap there. The track temp did drop a little bit. Not sure if that attributed to it, but man, this battle. Oh man, Switzer and Pollard here. Where I don't know where they're gonna end up. Burchett running quick laps. He was definitely catching them there towards the end. To Duggar, man, this race is gonna end up exciting.
Nate Pollard took 2 tires again. I'm gonna see what exactly the play was last time and see if he took 2 different sets of tires.
Or James Nesta off in the grass there, hard in the wall.
That is not going to be ideal for Nesta. And we will stay green here. Don't have any cautions like that in this race. I'm going to find out what Pollard did here, because I'm very interested in seeing if he took 2 lefts or 2 rights last side. Let's see. He took 2 lefts, so Pollard took 2 lefts on his stage 2 stop. He took 2 rights on this pit stop, so 2-tire call only for Nate Pollard. He'll still come out P6, as everyone in front of him except for Alan Duggar has also taken 4.
He has a 21-second lead over Switzer there, so I don't know. He was lighting up them rear tires. You got to be easy on that throttle. Make sure to not cook him. We got 16 laps left here. There's a lot of room here there's a lot of room for error here, so oh man, it's gonna be exciting to see here as Switzer running 131s and Nate Pollard running a 141 there. That's just because he pit though, so definitely not 10 seconds over there, so we're gonna have to see where the lap times come out here. But also important here to look at Alan Duggar and Brian Burchett here. Burchett running 122 4s back. That's what Alan Duggar was running before he pit, 122 4s to 6s. Hugh Brown and James Nesta in a good battle here as well. Hugh Brown was in P8. Oh, he dives in there. Oh, and oh, they're both around. James Nesta able to go drive away from it. Hugh Brown nosed into the wall. That's an awful spot to be in. And there's going to be nobody else involved. But Hugh Brown making a big charge from, I believe he was back in P12 there, all the way up to P7 and back to P10. So definitely day's not over yet. Still got some race left, but definitely not the few laps he was looking for.
That is what we would call an ambitious move on the part of Hugh Brown there. He ends up taking out both him and Nesta, and he by far gets the worst of it, dropping all the way down to P10 in that 35 car. Oh, he's wide through this corner as well. Not a great lap here for Hugh Brown. He is in big trouble. Back up front, Duggar is just dominating this race. He's put Thomas Freeman a lap down. Burchett still runs second. Burchett still runs second. Steinhoff third. Kerjelak fourth. 5th place, Daniel Best.
Duggar running quicker laps than he was before, but Burchett still laid down the heater, 121.4. He's a few tenths off that lap there, a few tenths off Alan Duggar here. But look here as the playoffs, as the points for the playoff battle tighten. Nate Pollard and Josh Switzer, P6, P7, only a 21-second gap between them. As I'm not sure if Switzer's closing in. This is going to be definitely got to keep an eye on the lap times for Burchett and Duggar, and Switzer and Pollard here as the, I don't know if that 2-tire call was definitely the right one. I mean, technically he took 4, but he took them 2 at a time, so I don't know if they're war or what's going to happen here, but man, it's definitely a good battle. Two good close battles here to watch, and we're going to see what happens here. Switzer overshoots that corner. They're giving up more time to, giving up time that he could be catching Pollard there as he's under pressure from getting passed by James Nesta.
Nesta had to go all the way down to about 25 miles an hour to find his way through that hairpin. It's just so tough to make your way through there. In any scenario, it's very difficult for those cars. Alan Duggar dominating this race. He's about to lap Hugh Brown. He's about to lap Danny Carpenter here. So we're going to get some lapping going on in just a second as he maintains this now 14-second lead over Brian Burchett. He's pulling away from that car. And Hugh Brown has now gone a lap down in the 35, and it won't be long until Danny Carpenter has also gone a lap down in that 28. We will have 8 cars on the lead lap here from the Roval. Field is pretty spread out. James Nesta, Joshua Switzer, is a close battle on the track. These cars are about 0.2 of a second away from each other as Switzer goes way wide. Nesta trying to reel him back in. Let's see what he can do down here into turns 5 and 6 for this 29 car. He's got a little bit of speed right up to the bumper. He might be able to get something going here. No, hairpin is going to be Nesta's chance to try to get back around Joshua Switzer for position. He'll dive it in there, locks it up. Both cars lock it up. And ultimately, that is going to let Switzer prevail. Never mind, Switzer's going to get loose near the end of the fence. Nesta is by.
Don't forget, this battle is right in front of the leader, as Alan Duggar just also lapped Danny Carpenter right there, but this battle is right in front of the leader, so anything can still happen. We've seen Hugh Brown in a lot of instances tonight, and he just makes a deep dive there on Carpenter, and Alan Duggar right behind, not liking what he's seen. He was held up a little bit by Carpenter there, but by Hugh Brown. I'm not sure who it was anymore, but he was getting held up a little bit, and but this battle is right in front of the leader, so anything could still happen here. This race is not over. Duggar this could still be Burchett's race, believe it or not. But as the track temps are definitely cooling down, the lap times did pick up there, but we see him start to fall off here. Brian Burchett still has the fastest lap, not able to come close to that though. But Alan Duggar did set one real close, but Alan Duggar still just running the quick laps here and running away from it, expanding his gap. As the gap to Pollard and Switzer opens up there, there's a pretty big gap there. It's no longer as close as it was, but looking lap times wise, Pollard definitely ran a quicker lap there. Switzer's been making mistakes here, battling back and forth with other cars, actually slowing him down as well, and allowing Pollard to slowly drive away.
Nate Pollard has done a great job here, and it looks like he will be able to hold that playoff position and get himself up into the next round in the round of 8. We'll see what he does in that round of 8. Some very different tracks coming up in that round from what we've been running here with, stuff like the Roval being a bit of a unique one. We've got Las Vegas, we've got Talladega, we've got Martinsville coming up over the next 3 weeks. And those should all be pretty fun races here in the Door Racing League once again as we make our way around Charlotte Roval. Not many laps to go here. Time running out for anyone to do anything to catch Alan Duggar, or I guess more realistically, anyone to make a mistake that takes out Alan Duggar, because he is dominating 6 cars on the lead lap as he gets around Nesta.
For sure. What's your opinion on the playoff system here? Do you like the playoffs? Do you like the full season points? Do you like the playoffs? I definitely thought it was good from the entertainment standpoint as well. Being a driver here, I loved it from the beginning. But now in my leagues, it's actually been affecting me more often because I'm not too good at Phoenix or Homestead, so it's been affecting me a lot. But the rumor has it NASCAR may be going to a different, I'm not sure if it's full season playoffs. Did you guys hear anything about this? Was it full season or points?
I'm down for that. I think I heard a little bit about full season. I'd be cool with that. It'd also be cool for just like Chase. The Chase is what I'm thinking of in my brain.
Yeah, I think they're doing something similar to the Chase, where I think it's like a final round of 3 or something similar to that. I don't know. I've heard it both ways, but I'm interested to see if Door Racing League was going to do that as well. Because they seem to follow the schedule pretty well. So definitely interested to see if they already have it set in stone for next season, or they're waiting for NASCAR here. But Hugh Brown and Switzer on the backstretch. Oh my goodness, Switzer almost right hooking Hugh Brown on the outside fence there in the back. But man, I'm not too sure what happened there, but Hugh Brown is on a mission. He's back up to P8 already, passing Switzer there. Pollard loves to hear this as well. Switzer overcooks the corner, and Hugh Brown making up another spot up to P7 again. That mistakes he made, he overcooked it. It's good. He's on a mission. Hugh Brown is Hugh Brown's on his way to P1. This isn't over. Hugh Brown got 10 laps in the tank. I think he definitely gonna catch Alan Duggar here.
I miss when he was running that UPS car, so I can make the "What could Hugh Brown do for you" jokes. The white car just hit the same.
He's gonna, UPS. He's shipping that car as deep as it goes. He's somehow making it stick because he's definitely on a mission. But no UPS here. Man, his brakes are glowing. Oh, Nesta locks up the tires a little bit there, but man, yeah, Hugh Brown is definitely on a mission. Man, if he wouldn't have had them mistakes, he'd be. Oh, I mean, he's a lap down, but Pollard's about to go a lap down as well, actually. Oh, man, Alan Duggar is on a mission here. Alan Duggar's trying to lap the whole field before this race is over.
He might have a good shot at doing it here as he is 14 seconds in the lead. Sorry, I just choked on water. I'm having a great time over here. Ryan Burchett sits in second. Ryan Sionoff third. I muted myself before you got the worst of it. It would have been really bad if I didn't. Gargelak fourth best, fifth. Pollard in sixth, and those are the cars. Still on your lead lap, although Pollard isn't too far from going a lap down either, as Alan Duggar just continues to chew up cars left and right. Problem for Joshua Switzer there, as he took a bit of a preferred path type of line through that infield there, cutting that chicane, and didn't gain any spots, so lose a lot of time, because that racing's going to make him serve a penalty there now that he's come back on.
Switzer didn't think the ground. Oh, we have one loose there. Who was that? Right in front of Switzer there. Was that Nesta? Yeah, it was Nesta there. Real loose there. Got it locked down. It was all good, but I don't think Switzer thought the ground control, but put the grass to clearance right. I don't know if it's turf or what, but he was trying to trim it down. Definitely make a shortcut there in the future as he goes wide here. Maybe the turf's on his tires, the grass on his tires yet, but he swung it wide there. He's expecting a little paycheck here at the end of the day for clearing up that grass there, but I don't know, maybe some other people use that path to clear out there, but Alan Duggar, dominant performance here. Nesta and Switzer having a hard battle here. Pollard loves to see this here because, as Switzer goes around, he definitely saved that from being a lot worse. No damage there. He locked it up. Tires are going to be hot there. You got to take it easy. And, he locked it up there. Definitely could have been a lot worse. So he salvaged it there, and Pollard loving what he's hearing. Sorry, words are hard and water's hard for you, it seems.
Carpenter almost got up to Switzer there, but he wasn't able to do it. Danny Carpenter having a very bad, no good, very bad day as he continues to sit 10th in that 28 car. We're under 10 to go here from Charlotte Roval, and Alan Duggar has opened that gap up to 13 seconds. Burchett is closing, but he's not really closing because he's outright faster. He's closing because Alan Duggar has really eased off the throttle. He's been lapping cars. He's got a 13-second lead. He doesn't need to have the pedal to the metal anymore because with only about 7 laps left to go for him, he just needs to run steady and careful, and he has 13 seconds to lead before he'd be in any trouble. So he is going to win this race. Barring anything going crazy wrong, like a lap car deciding to kill him for fun, he should be able to get a pretty free win.
Now, I know this one fly in this league, but in my league, what I did once is, we were on the Roval here, and I was, I think, like 18 seconds behind the leader, and I didn't get the win anyways, but I almost had it, but in turn 1 there, I sent it over the turtles there, and I went flipping and flying over that wall, and I had the lead until we got to the line. I got hooked, and he beat me by a bumper. So I'm not sure if anyone's going to try to pull some Ross Chastain, Hail Melon type stuff on the final lap here, but I've tried it. I lost by a bumper, but I'm not sure if anyone has that in the bag here, as this is a cutoff race, so it would be like the Martinsville Hail Melon. So who knows? But Josh Switzer under pressure for Brian Burchett. He's just gonna move over for him. Lap as he is a lap car. So good on him. Brian Burchett still running quick laps here as he's dealing for lap traffic too, but he definitely doesn't seem like he has enough time to catch Alan Duggar here.
Drivers of the Door Racing League, that is your race control, Mike, giving you the key you would need to do exactly what he described and launch it over the apron in turn 1 and go absolutely flying halfway across the racetrack. That is race control approved. That maneuver is what I am hearing out of Mike Wamble up here in the booth with me right now. So if anyone would like to try that, I personally, I'll say I also condone that. I think that would be quite a fun move if you are Brian Burchett sitting in second, who just had to slam on the brakes to avoid crashing into the back of a very loose James Nesta car out of the chicane, and that'll cost him about another 2 seconds there in comparison to Alan Duggar and his domination on this race. Man, Burchett's having a lot of problems getting around James Nesta in this 29 car right now. Nesta's really holding him up and letting Duggar get even further away. I think Burchett's only chance might be to jump that corner and hope it somehow gets him ahead of James Nesta.
Yeah, it's definitely not as easy as it seems though, because I just came to me like with 2 laps to go. I'm like, man, I'm definitely not going to win this. Like, what's the point? And James Nesta getting wide there in the grass, almost collecting second place car Brian Burchett. But after the race was over, everyone was flipping out. Like, some people loved it, some people hated it. And we tried doing it again after the race, and I think we tried close to 30 times, and we weren't able to land it. So it definitely was a low percentage, super lucky move. And some people were able to hit the jump and not even clear the wall. And once we would finally able to clear the wall, we would always land on our roof. So it was a super lucky, low percent chance move, but man, it was definitely awesome. And man, that'd be awesome to see it here. Race control wouldn't clear any black flags if any were given, but it would definitely be cool to see.
I support it. Here, how about this? I will personally take over Mike's computer and clear your black flags if you are so inclined to do that maneuver. Brian Burchett, I'm looking at you.
I can't. I'm just gonna say I'm not gonna clear it. But my computer gets hacked. What can I do?
Yeah, that could happen to anybody. We are running out of time left in this race now, and Alan Duggar is putting a hurt on the field, as we've mentioned quite a few times this broadcast. It'll be 4 to go in the line. There goes Nesta. James Nesta is wrecked into the inside wall. Got it saved, didn't lose too many positions, but that is quite a bit of damage on that 29 car, quite a bit of position loss. Danny Carpenter is behind Joshua Switzer, but he just locked up that car pretty badly, about halfway between turn 3 and turn 4, which is not a maneuver you see every day. He's now in the grass up through here. So he's trying everything to catch Joshua Switzer. I'm not sure if it's actually going to work for him. I don't know what his last lap time is because he got so many time penalties that iRacing just doesn't tell me. But he's certainly making a little bit of time up on Joshua Switzer right now, and we'll see if he's able to actually make the move work.
It's definitely really fitting considering the Switzer and Nesta both seem to be on the ground crew, making sure the grass is clear and everything's good. But Switzer locking it up there in the chicane there. So, man, I don't know. I'm not sure if he thought there was grass back there and wasn't sure or what, but Nesta and Switzer both seeming to race real hard. P8 and P10, and they're making a little bit of mistakes there, but making sure the grass is nice and clean here at Charlotte.
You always need a good lawnmower or two. I mean, I'd take a nice grass mowing. Hugh Brown has just been lapped by Brian Burchett up here. With 4 to go for those cars. Hugh Brown is one of those cars who maybe had potential for this race, but it's kind of gone bad for him as he sits in P7. He did manage to drive his way back up through the field. He's had a cool puff style up and down day, but a little more constrained. He's kind of moved from about 5th to 12th, back to 5th, back to 12th. And as we settle down here for the end of the race, he runs P7. Danny Carpenter trying to chase down Joshua Switzer here. This is the battle for the 8th position on the racetrack. Carpenter's been hounding him for a while. Maybe this is his chance as Switzer is loose out of the corner. Carpenter had a shot, but he had to get off the gas to avoid contact, and now Switzer is gone over a second away.
All that momentum he lost braking for Switzer. Switzer caught a break there. Towards the end of the race here, I might have too, maybe if it was for P1 or P2, but P8, P9, definitely respect it. Never know, it could come back to haunt him here later in the playoffs if he does make it. But if he does make it through, Nate Pollard's still the last car on the lead lap here, still in that tight battle with Josh Switzer. Switzer hoping I don't know, maybe Switzer got to do the Hail Melon here to get that last playoff spot, but it's definitely coming close. Nate Pollard definitely benefiting heavy there from that 2-tire stop where he finished 3rd there, if I recall correctly.
I think so. I mean, Switzer might not even benefit if he did do it, because he's 30 seconds back of Nate Pollard right now, who is just on cruise control in P6. He's 6 seconds behind the car in front of him. He's 25 seconds ahead of the car behind him. He is catching Daniel Best a little. This 5 car has been running a little bit slower recently, and Pollard is trying to reel him back in, but we'll see how that ultimately works out. It was a bad lap last time for Pollard that really kind of opened up that gap in the first place, as Carpenter is going to lock it up big time into this corner. He's still trying to get Switzer. He hasn't been able to do it. This is the battle for 8th, 1 lap down. And yet again, Carpenter is going to lose a lot of ground in that hairpin and have to spend the rest of the lap re-racking in order to find his way back to that car. 2 to go as Alan Duggar crosses the line.
Oh, Switzer locked it up hard. Hopped the turtles, almost went head on into the fence there. And Carpenter finally able to get this spot after how many laps came Switzer making that mistake there. But I thought Switzer was trying to do the little Hail Melon back there. He almost cleared that wall. He hit them turtles hard. I thought he was going to hit it head on, but Switzer isn't giving this position up yet. He is going to give Carpenter everything he has. And, you know, this battle right here is not over because there's 2 laps left. And he's definitely going to give it his all. As long as he doesn't make any mistakes, he might be able to catch back up to him. And who knows, you know, Danny gave him a break, so maybe Switzer will give him a break, but I don't know. Danny gave him a break and lost all that time, and Switzer definitely benefited greatly, but Alan Duggar still on a rampage here out front. 13, almost 14 second, yeah, now 14-second lead over Brian Burchett. And Brian Steinhoff looks like he's going to be keeping his top 3 streak alive on these road courses.
Looks like he will as he continues to run in P3 up here. Alan Duggar continues to make it around the racetrack here. He'll roll through 3 and 4 of the NASCAR Oval. Back into the front stretch chicane, and it's only 1 lap to go here for the 15 car of Alan Duggar. Makes his way out of there, and he takes the white flag here tonight in what has been an absolutely dominating effort for the driver of that 15 car. 14 seconds out in front of Brian Burchett. Really can't do any better than that.
For sure, he definitely had a great run here. Led every green flag lap, if I do recall correct. You know what? No, he didn't. Besides the pit stop. Besides that, he's led every green flag lap. Brian Burchett, a half a second quicker that last lap, but I think it's a little late, bud. You should have got on the gas pedal about 10 laps ago. But he was trying his best. He has the quickest lap of the race, so he definitely has one fast car there. But Alan Duggar just made all the right calls, was in all the right positions all race, and just what a dominating performance here. I'm sure Trevor Baxter's watching this, definitely thinking like Alan Duggar, definitely someone to watch here in the future as, you know, the playoffs close here, because that last race, anything can happen, and Alan Duggar's definitely been showing he's not one to mess with.
Just a couple more corners to go here. Alan Duggar is going to round off his 4th win of the season in the Door Racing League and bring it home. First win of the playoffs for Alan Duggar. First win since Dover over 2 months ago. He'll get it done. Alan Duggar wins at the Charlotte Roval.
Brian Burchett still yet to cross the start-finish line. That's how big of a gap Duggar had. But it's not over yet. Steinhoff still could catch him. Oh, James Nesta locking it up there. Oh, the 17 getting by Jet Nesta there for P10.
And 17's also locking it up here.
Yeah,
it's anybody's game.
Yeah, for sure. And this is a lap car here, I believe. Yeah, it's a lap car. Their lap car, sorry, this is P3 who just passed him. Nesta's going to give P3 the bumper there. P3 is sending into deep. That's Michael Kerjalak. And Nesta.
Oh, Nesta.
Oh, they're battling hard here. Oh, and Freeman loops it. They're coming to the line and catches. Who was that? They just got
Stephen Bird is who he caught there 8 laps down.
Okay. A lot of chaos there at the end. Wow. And Thomas Freeman doing a burnout crossing the line.
Yeah. Nesta tried to wreck 4th there at the end of the race, despite the fact that 4th was 30 seconds ahead of the next car who could have passed him.
Yeah, I think he was just trying to let fourth
I
place
got
by, and then saw that he was about to get passed, and I'm not too sure what happened there, but what a race! Steinhoff continues his top 3 streak. Alan Duggar put on a great performance. Brian Burchett set the quickest lap of the race, but just still was a little bit, a lot of bit off. Duggar ran the perfect race.
Ooh, that'll be the end of our coverage here tonight. We'll get interviews from the top 3 when we come back. Stay tuned.
When you want to be the best, you can't settle for the rest. For anything on iRacing, there's just one name you need, Maconi.
With the launch of Maconi Entertainment and Maconi Competizone alongside Maconi Setup Shop, we now provide the best of the best in setups, paint schemes, coaching, broadcasting, and event organization.
With cars across all 4 license classes, we have what you need to hit the track with confidence. Grab a subscription and save money while going fast at MaconiSetupShop.com/subscriptions.
And remember, at Maconi Setup Shop, there are setups, but your victories.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
We are back here in the Door Racing League at the Charlotte Roval, and we're going to take a quick look at your final results tonight. First place, Alan Duggar gets his 4th win of the season. Brian Burchett brings it home in P2. Third place tonight, Ryan Steinhoff, while Daniel Best finishes 4th. Nate Pollard finishes P5 tonight. Michael Kurgelak had some problems late. He brings it home P6. Hugh Brown finishes P7. Danny Carpenter P8, Joshua Switzer P9, and James Nesta in 10th.
Was a great race for sure here all throughout. Thomas Freeman rounding off in 11th, Stephen Byrne in 12th, Colt Huff in 13th, Michael Reeves in 14th, William Larkin 15th, Chris Chavez SRA in 16th, Thomas Hegland in 17th, and me in 18th.
Great result tonight for our commentator, P18. Pretty good. We're going to bring in our winner, Alan Duggar, into the booth. Alan, 4 wins this season. How's it feel?
Feels pretty good.
Got yourself up into the next round of the playoffs with a dominating win tonight. You led pretty much every lap under green. How'd you get it done?
Consistent. Me and this track in my past really didn't get along with each other, and I knew this week I had to put my head down and go to work and just try to be consistent as possible, and was able to pull it out.
You grabbed a win at the Chicago Street Course earlier this season, too. Do you just really like these road courses?
I got a love-hate relationship with road courses. There's some that I love and some that I absolutely hate, but every one I've run, I've been good at, so they've been good to me.
All right, next round of the playoffs. Vegas, Talladega, Martinsville. How you feeling?
I feel good about Vegas. Talladega, that's really a survival race to the end. And I feel good about Martinsville. So, really excited about Martinsville.
All right, anyone you have to thank tonight?
Turner's Alignment, Flying Change Farms, Salon Motorsport, Bar S Bar Ranch, Ken Byron over at Ryco. I'd like to thank y'all for doing the broadcast and the guys at Door to Door for letting us come out here and play.
All right, congrats on the win tonight, Alan Duggar.
Thank you, sir.
We're going to now send it over to Mike, who's going to be standing by with our second place finisher tonight, Brian Burchett.
Brian Burchett, how is it going, man? You had a great run tonight, set the fastest lap of the night, and just came up a little short here in the final stage.
Yeah, had a little bad luck in hi, by the way. It's nice to talk to you guys finally. I've always come up short, 4th place a few times, but yeah, that was that second stage was a little wild. I didn't think I was going to get back to the top 3 after that because some guys were just really tough to pass. And yeah, I was actually on my mind. I was thinking, I wonder what I'm going to see if I can try to hit the fastest lap there in the last one. And right when I crossed the finish line, I hit that. So that was kind of weird, but that worked out.
You and Alan Duggar were running such quick laps back and forth. You would run 2/10 quicker, then he would catch back up. Then you looked like for a while there you were just catching him. Did you have anything left in the tank, or what were you missing here from the get that P1?
I would have had to be running second right behind him, and it would have took a great pit stop because I think he was just cruising that second half there because with no pressure on him. But I don't know if I had enough for him. He was fast. Hats off to him tonight.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, he was definitely quick there, but yeah, track position definitely mattered there in the end, but you definitely sitting the quick lap there. Do you have any tracks you're looking forward here as we're rounding off the season?
I like the 1.5s. Those are friendly. We'll see. I'm more of a road guy than an oval guy, more average in this league, but yeah, looking forward to the rest of the season. Not the short tracks, though.
Yeah, for sure. I'm not looking forward to the short tracks myself. It's nice, definitely nice talking to you for the first time. Is there anyone you'd like to thank?
Shout out to you guys for the broadcast. Thank you. Shout out to the Red Snapper Racing and my crew chief, Philip.
Awesome. Well, congratulations on the second place finish. It's nice finally talking to you, Brian. And next time I'd like a shout out to the race control. No, I'm all good.
Oh, yeah. Thank you,
no,
race
it's all
control.
good. It's all good. Nice talking to you, Brian. Congrats.
Have a good night. Thanks.
All right, we're going to take it back over now to our third place finisher tonight. That is Ryan Steinhoff. Ryan, how you doing?
Good. How are you?
Good. Pretty up and down race for you. You had that early accident there in stage 2, but you managed to battle your way back to P3. How'd you get it done?
I don't know, to be honest with you. It was Well, usually when something negative like that happens, something just clicks on me and I just start driving like I should be driving all the time, just moving back up. But no, yeah, just a simple mistake. I just stayed in fourth and tried to shift in the middle of the corner, and it just cold tires carried it around and really put us at a deficit there. But we were able to make our way through, luckily, with the final stage there. And then, yeah, big bottle in the final chicane, and thought my podium days were going to be gone there. But luckily, we were just able to be close enough on the pit stop, the green flag stops, and be close enough for when the 16 hit the wall and doored the 41 and slowed them both up. So that was super helpful for me.
You always seem to perform pretty well on these road courses here in Door to Door. What's the secret to that?
I had no idea. No idea. I wish I was better. I wish I was Duggar faster, but, eventually, hopefully we'll get there. I just enjoy road racing and the stock cars. It's a ton of fun throwing a heavy car around a track with very little grip. It's just it's very endurance-based and just a lot of fun.
All right, anyone you have to thank tonight?
Thank you guys for the broadcast. Thanks to the league for hosting, as always. It's been a pretty good season so far and haven't had no complaints. And just thanks to anyone watching and anyone supporting.
All right, congrats on P3 tonight, Ryan Steinhoff.
Thank you.
And I think we're going to send it over to Nate Pollard now because I believe he wants to announce the drivers who have made it through to the next round. Nate, you got a copy?
Yeah, I got you.
Tell us about those points. What you got for us?
I've got let's see. So Alan finished first for the round, and then we've got Trevor, Daniel, Hugh, Danny, Danny Carpenter, William Lark, me, and Stephen Bird made it. Was the final guy to make it by 10 points over Joshua Switzer and Michael Reeves.
While you're up here, you had a pretty good race to get into that points position to make it to the next round. How'd you do that?
I don't know. I just kind of, I knew I needed to just take it easy, get a couple stage points. Got really lucky that Burchett and Michael took themselves out at the beginning of the second stage and got good stage points in the second stage.
Taking 2 tires there was definitely risky, and it was fun watching from the booth there. You took 2 tires twice. Tell me what it was like when you were taking the 2 tires. How did the car handle there? Did it handle good? I saw you lighting them up there.
Yeah, it really didn't change. I didn't feel the car change very much. It handled exactly the same as it did throughout the whole race. The only mistake I made is when Alan passed me, I started to try to follow his line, see if I could pick up any tips, and then that's how I ended up in the wall. Is I hit those bumps in the short turn and set me in the wall.
For sure, yeah. It was definitely a great play by you to stay out and get them stage points. Take 2 tires and get the track position, get the stage points there, and it looks like you got yourself to the next round because of it, so congrats.
Yeah, thank you guys.
Yep, thank you, Nate.
Have a good night.
You as well. All right, Sky, looks like we're going to wrap it up here.
Now we are. Next week, though, we got Las Vegas. How you feeling about that one?
Oh, Vegas. I'm a gambling man. I love sports betting, love betting on NASCAR, and man, I can't wait for Las Vegas. One of my personal favorite tracks. I'm really good there, and I can't wait for it. What's your opinion on Vegas?
I think it's going to be one of the better races here in the playoffs. That track always puts on a pretty good show, and it'll be same time, same place, next week, once again on Maconi Entertainment. For myself, Mike Wombold and Christian Hill up here with me in the booth, and for everyone at both the Door to Door Racing League and Maconi Entertainment, have a great night.
Have a good one, guys.
When you want to be the best, you can't settle for the rest. For anything on iRacing, there's just one name you need, Maconi.
With the launch of Maconi Entertainment and Maconi Competizone alongside Maconi Setup Shop, we now provide the best of the best in setups, paint schemes, coaching, broadcasting, and event organization.
With cars across all 4 license classes, we have what you need to hit the track with confidence. Grab a subscription and save money while going fast at MaconiSetupShop.com/subscriptions.
And remember, at Maconi Setup Shop, there are setups, but your victories.